lower it like down?
Push it down.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Hola.
good. That's better.
Shit.
So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
My cousins from Indio.
What's up,
We always call you cousins from Indio.
And I'm probably the tia, but whatever. We're cousins.
Tia or cousins. It doesn't matter. I appreciate you guys. And first of all, I want to say you run probably one of my favorite accounts on Instagram.
Okay. So I'm not going to touch my hair. All right. Thank you.
So you run Dear India. So why?
The inspiration?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a lot of inspiration, but it came from my first page was Corre Caminitos on Facebook. And I mean, nobody's on Facebook no more, right? So eventually when I got on Instagram, I'm like, okay, there's more engagement on Instagram than on Facebook. Because I would post events. I would post up like city council meetings. Nothing, no engagement. So then when I got on Instagram, I mean, I have my personal page, but then Dear Indio became my community page. So that was public. But Dear Indio stands for, honestly, it stands for drop everything and read. Like, I'm a teacher, so I was trying to get the city council to care more about the library. So it came from that, you know. So yeah. I was kind of, like, if you go back to my first posts, it's me talking about how the library needs more love. And my daughter's holding signs like, where's the books? You know, because we were going there and like, where the hell are the books? There's all these empty aisles. So it came from that, but then it just became kind of like, so it could be that, and it could be like Dear Indio, like things that I like about Indio.
Yeah.
And then it could be like Dear Indio, like I'm writing a letter to Indio. So it's a little bit about that. But it's just things that I like to do, and I'm sharing it with everybody.
It's awesome. Now I always look at like whatever events are happening. I'm like, oh, let me see what she's been posting.
I know. Somehow my algorithm has like locked in to city events and then like music and art. So that's all I get on Dear Indio. So that's why I'm just sharing. And then people are like, how'd you find out? I'm like, I don't know. It's my algorithm. Yeah. Está bonito. It's locked in.
You got caught
I don't mess with it.
Yeah.
So I like it. Yeah.
That's cool. And I appreciate it. But so we're here to talk about Coachella, you know.
Yes, we are.
Music festival happens in this city. And first of all, you went to the first Coachella, which is like the coolest thing. But you've been to every single Coachella since 1999.
Yeah.
Like, you, both of you. Like, that's so sick, bro.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's crazy because, like, if you go big picture, we met in 1999, right? So we met writing to each other about music. So in 1999, this boy in LA was doing a zine. He was doing a rockero zine. Mm-hmm. And I was doing rock en español college radio. So I would reach out to people like, hey, I need music, hook me up. And people would give me stuff. But he was the one that went back and forth. Like, hey, check this out. Fuck this band. Da, da, da. You know? So, like, I started, like, getting really intrigued with his point of view and his, like, musical styles. And he started sending me a bunch of CDs, mixtapes. I'm like, okay. So our relationship, friendship started in 99. And then he hit me up. Hey, there's a concert happening in your hometown. Are you going? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going. So then I knew he was there, right? But I didn't know. This is social media back in the day where no había foto, no había nada, right? So it was just like, I knew that he had long hair, but, you know, I didn't know.
So you're just sending like letters to each other or what?
No, dude, emails. AOL. I was Sepala Punk and he was King of Bongo on AOL. So
that's sick.
Instant Messenger.
Oh, that
Instant Messenger. Yep. Mm-hmm. So in 99.
So how was like when you first heard about Coachella, or both of you? What was like the marketing behind Coachella? Because it's the first one, you know, like how were they advertising in LA for people to come drive out 2 hours?
How'd you find out?
Wow. I think I was probably like at Amoeba or saw it on the 88 Weekly, and that's probably where I saw the ad.
So just
most definitely, yeah. It was probably a poster.
And you caught your eye like, oh, all these bands are playing?
Yeah, all in the same spot on the same weekend. Like, let's go, because Golden Voice have been putting out festivals before that one. And there was one called This Ain't No Picnic.
There you go.
Have you heard of that one?
No.
So that was like a guinea pig for Coachella. And they had two of those.
This Ain't No Picnic?
Yeah, they were at Tustin Ranch, Oak
random ass places, huh?
Orange County and shit.
Yeah, and it was like Sonic Youth and really indie rock type of bands. You should look it up.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
I didn't go to those festivals,
Yeah.
but he would
I
go, so he would
with
tell
the-
me.
I would go with the homies.
Mm-hmm. And I went with my homies.
Yeah. So we'd go to that. It was like Pure Indie Rock Fest, and that was like the beginning. We saw the Mars Volta before they blew up. I mean, I can't even think of any bands right now. It was a long time ago. The Boredoms were very special. Guided by Voices.
He's the rock dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Coachella got announced. And then for you as a local, you lived in Indio in that time?
No, at that time I was in college at UC Santa Barbara. So I took off. I'm class of 95 Indio High School. And then I took off to school. And when I was here in 95, like my scene was the house music scene. I wasn't a raver, but like I was a groover, a houser. And that had a lot to do with like the LA influence. We were getting influenced by the party crews of LA. And so we would see the Fox Undercovers on TV, and next thing you know, you would see like the same thing happening at our school. So kids would tag bang, and then you would see graffiti of that supposed gang right there by the Alpha Beta, and we're like, wait a minute, this wasn't here yesterday. But we were all watching like the LA party scene happen,
yeah.
And then we had it here because there was generator parties like for rock, but generator parties for house music became a thing.
What do you mean generator parties?
Like you would go to the desert. And there was like what you're doing, right? Generator, and then it would just be the DJ. Okay. But it would literally be a flyer, and you show up, and we would get busted. We would all have to find a way home. Like, it's crazy to think of our kids in high school, and Coachella's their thing. Like, that's what they love, and they're so happy to go to it. But I thought I had strict parents, but I was at shows and I was at parties and I was at events every weekend, Like, I feel like Coachella, like in Indio back then, was more accessible to music. Like, you would know about a quinceañera and a wedding, everybody was there. It's not like you had to be a special invite, right? You would just know there was a party in the Armory or there was a party at the fairgrounds at the Taj Mahal. Like, and you would just show up. No one was stopping you.
How was the city? Because the city has grown so much. I got here in 2002, so when I was a kid, so I didn't really know. But how was like the city before Coachella? Like, was it like really? How was the population like? What was like an everyday thing?
Yeah, I think we were half the population, 50,000 maybe, and it really felt like if you feel like it feels like a small town, like it really felt like a small town. Like you would run into everybody, right? Or you knew like. Tú eres la hija de María Elena. I'm like, like you didn't want to, you knew that people were watching. There was eyes and ears everywhere, Yeah. So I think we all had healthy fun. It's not like we were doing crazy things, but we were out, and there was a lot of 18 and under. Like I would be the clubs in Coachella. There was Paraíso Tropical. There was Club 69. There was, there was a big old one where the Smart and Finals at.
Yeah, where Tucanes played in there.
Yeah, whatever that one was called. Yeah,
Tucanes, that was one of their gigs. That's why they liked the city of Coachella, because they would come from Tijuana and they played in Coachella. Copacabana, yeah.
It was
and
fun in there.
Smart and Final?
No, there was no Smart and Final. It was the Coachella indoor swap meet. There was another indoor swap meet. But there was clubs. There was music everywhere, and you can just go. Like, but then there was like a switch where all of a sudden it felt like you became a criminal just because you were a kid. Like, Indio High School got fenced up. Like, our class, like, before it was open campus, like, you would go to school, and then at lunchtime, you go to Pizza Hut, you would go to McDonald's, you could walk around.
Yeah.
And then you go back. And then all of a sudden, like, we got fenced in, they took out our lockers, like, and to keep us at school, they would bring DJs in. So we had DJs come in, same DJs that you see at the casinos right now, right? Like,
yeah.
They were the DJs there. Right. And they wouldn't have shows and bands. Like, they just kind of promoted the arts to kind of keep us entertained so we wouldn't be ditching. I wasn't a kid that ditched, but I like those rockin' lunches. Like, it was fun. Like, it was fun. Actually, I don't know if you know about Boom, Street Beat.
Street Beat, what
Street Beat magazine, dude. This was a back in the day party scene.
You brought all the
I'm telling you, dude, Carrot Top right here with all my props. They came out to Indio, and it was like, yes, it was a big deal because they brought their own DJs from LA and their photographers. And I don't even know how we would get these. It's not like they came to Indio. I think the Swap Meet dudes. So the Swap Meet was a big scene too to get your music. Right now, music is so accessible, you can just get any band from anywhere. But you would have to go to the swap meet and hope that the guy from Riverside would bring the mixtapes, and then they would hook you up with all the music.
That's so sick.
But it was different, and people used to.
Sad, dude.
Why is it sad?
It's just sad to like not know.
Because you just didn't have access to everybody, or like
Well, because he's LA, so they were spoiled there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
everything.
mean, we would go to Tower Records.
just the newest
Hey.
stuff coming in every week.
Mhm.
When were records
Check us
coming?
out,
Were they
eh?
still dropping every Thursday, Friday, or how was that?
Yeah, every on Tuesday.
September 17th.
dude, look at us, partying it up.
100 miles west of Arizona, being invited to Indio High to visit their campus, Austrian Familia, all the way. Damn, that's sick, dude.
Can you find me there?
Shit, I don't know.
I was a machista. I'm hardcore right there. There I am. But it was.
Wait, Mr. Ramirez is already fucking.
Yes, dude.
That dude was there.
He suspended me too. Oh my god, Mr. Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, fucking guy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was a schoolgirl, 4.0, good grades and stuff. And, like, we would get pulled over and searched, like, if we had weed, and we didn't. I got suspended by Mr. Ramirez. Like, but whatever. It was a good story for my UC application. But that was my scene. That I loved that music. And that's why I didn't go to Pearl Jam. Because I didn't want to be, like... I was like, no, I'm not a rocker, dude.
Was that 1993? Pearl Jam?
Yeah, Pearl Jam. But my brother went, and he had, like, extra tickets. He's like, come with me. And I'm like, no. And then my friends were talking about it. I'm like, nah, that's not my scene. But I regret not seeing Pearl Jam, dude, because I love Pearl Jam.
Yeah. How old
But-
were you at the time? 1993?
1993, how old were we? 17, 15?
15.
Yeah. But
So when Coachella 1999, how old were you?
20?
20. Oh, you were in college, Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
So when Coachella first started happening, how was like, how do you fear? Heard
Like,
about it?
I knew there was a festival happening. So to me, I was like, how the heck is it going to happen in Indio, right? Like, I didn't know where. But I knew the Polo Grounds, at that time, Polo Grounds were like, they would have a hot air balloon festival, you know? So we would go to the Polo Grounds. Or if your friends had the money, they would have their quinceañera there. So Polo Grounds were accessible, but they weren't like I wouldn't be at the Polo Grounds to see polo.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course.
but you knew people that worked there, you know. And so when they said the Polo Grounds, I'm like, cool, okay, that's where Pearl Jam played. I found out because I was doing college radio. There was a flyer probably. And I showed up with my girlfriends. I'm like, and I gave my mom a heads up, like, van a venir mis amigas, ma, se van a quedar con nosotros. Ah, sí, está bien, está bien. But we came from Rage, dude. We came from Rage Against the Machine because that became my scene. So I went from Hauser, raver, to rockera, Rage Against the Machine, you know? So we came to go see, support Zach De La Rocha.
And how was the, like, what you say, like, house music? Like, who were you listening to in the 90s?
My brother Jimmy, at that time, he was at Irvine. So he would make mixtapes from Mars FM. And, like, the DJs that are now on, what's that one that we had?
XM Radio.
XM Radio. Like the Swedish Eagle, Masters at Work. There was actually this competition on Coachella back in the day. Remember that competition? Where you had to make a poster? All right, so now I'm flip-flopping. Okay, let me stick to your question, and then I'll go back to that.
What's the point of that?
And yeah, because that poster represented 93. See? Do you remember what I'm talking about? All right. What was your question?
I said,
See.
what house music artists are you listening to in the 90s?
I love La India, Latin House.
Latin house?
So yeah, Masters at Work, La India, the DJ Irene, who still plays out here. We had a big scene. The what were the guys? The Baker Boys. Oh yeah, you weren't a Hauser. He was a rocker dude.
I like hip hop in the 90s.
Yeah. So it wasn't like artists that you would see. It was just like the mixtapes that you hear, you know. So like the house music now is cool, but like the Despacio was super super chill because to me that Despacio scene was what Yuma used to be. Was more like slowed down house music. And now Yuma feels like what Sahara used to be. Because I went into Yuma the last day and I was like, fuck, this is crazy. Like, it didn't feel like it used to be. So I feel like, and then Sahara feels like another main stage.
Yeah, Sahara's main stage now.
Yeah. It doesn't
80,000
feel-
people.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
And the last time we didn't touch Sahara this year at all. Para nada. Like, we didn't go in there at all. And I think it's been a couple years. The last time the Underworld was here was the last time I was in Sahara, and that was like 2016.
I went last year because I took the kids, and they kind of wanted me to go there to watch whatever they wanted to see. I can't remember what the hell it was, but
Brockhampton last. It was their last show.
Their last show ever. Yeah.
That shit was weird.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like this little book was last year. He came home with this.
Yeah.
We don't really buy merch at Coachella. Like, we don't, but he brought me this because I was sick of COVID.
What is that?
It's a cute little like.
Like a postcard
it's all the
book?
postcards, but like with all the posters.
All the lineups?
Yeah, all the lineups, and then some art from those years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this is gonna be my cheat sheet because I forget who. Yeah.
So you were showing me for the podcast. You still have the tickets. Oh, we could get into that later. But you have all the tickets. She has tickets from 1999, 2001, 2002, 2003. Like, that's so cool.
Just because we're nerds like that, we keep ticket stubs, but there's no more ticket stubs.
I know there's no more ticket stubs.
It's crazy.
The first time I went to Coachella was 2009, and I got a ticket stub, and it was I only went on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So it was I went to see Molotov. That's the only reason I went Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I was 16 years old. I got a free ticket from the.
I don't even remember Molotov playing.
They were on super early, weren't they?
Yeah, it was.
Hey,
like
what
3
year?
PM.
Let me look it up. Let me refer to that.
Yeah.
They were on 2009 on Friday with Paul McCartney. And I literally got 2 free tickets from the teen center, the Indio Teen Center.
That's hilarious.
I was there like because my parents had to pick me up from school and stuff. And then I was there, and then
and they didn't say.
they're like, "Oh, we're giving out free Coachella
Yeah.
tickets." And then they're like, "You can only pick one day." And then I didn't even know who the lineup was. I was 16, you know. And then they showed us the lineup, and then I was like, "Fuck, all these artists." I'm like, I want to see Molotov. Like, I grew up on Molotov. That shit was sick. So I got 1 ticket, and my friend got another ticket for Friday because he couldn't go. He's just like, "I'll get you one. Where do you want to go?" And me and Gabby. So I got one for Gabby because I was 16. I didn't have a phone at the time.
How old was Gabby?
Gabby was if I was 16, she was 21.
Yeah.
And she had a night shift at Carl's Jr.
Oh, shit.
So we actually left before Paul McCartney, and I didn't want to stay by myself, and I left. I didn't get to see Paul McCartney because I was like, I didn't have a phone. I was 16. I was like, I'm not going to stay here by myself in this festival. So we got to see Molotov and maybe like 2-3 artists. It was my first experience at a festival, and then it changed my life. So I'm here
And
now.
that's the cool thing about seeing it through our kids' eyes. Like the way they fell in love with it this year. I was like, I'm going to buy merch this year to remember it. So I bought merch this year. I'm telling you, I think the only merch I have is like a sweater from like 2004. Because back in the day, you can buy last year's merch for half off. And they don't do that shit no more. So let's say 2023, like you could have bought other years' merch for
Just
half
cheaper.
off, super cheap. And so I remember buying 2004 sweater because that was my favorite year. And then I have a 1999 long sleeve. But I remember wearing it, you know, in 99 at Walmart or something. And I remember being stared down by a cholo. Like, he's looking at me, like looking at Coachella and looking at me. And I'm like, oh, shit, Coachella, you know, because it still felt like that. You know, it's so weird that, like.
What do you mean? Like, that was a.
Like territorial, like, you're from Coachella, you know, and he's looking at me and I'm staring. So I don't know. It's just, because it was pretty gangster in the 90s, you know, like. Even though it was fun, even though it was, you know, parties and stuff. But, you know, shit went down in the 90s. And I don't think I realized how gangster it was until later, you know, till we got broken into in our house.
Oh, you guys got broken into?
Yes. But that's 92201 Indio life. That's just how it is.
So you said 2004 was your favorite Coachella? Why was that your favorite? What was the 2004 lineup?
It was Radiohead.
Pixies. So I love the Pixies. Now that I became like more into rock and stuff, like Pixies became.
With Kraftwerk, MIA.
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh, I think I saw it in the documentary. Yeah.
That 2004 Coachella was beautiful.
Is it Arcade Fire?
Is it?
I don't remember.
I gotta look. Hold on, let me.
Arcade Fire. So 2011 was the first time I went 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Is when they dropped the balloons and shit.
Dude.
Oh, okay.
We have three of those balloons.
I fell in love with.
we have those
You
balloons.
have the balloons.
We
Oh
have
my
them.
god.
Yeah.
That was actually my first Coachella video. Mm-hmm. So I've made like over 100 Coachella videos up to date. That was my first Coachella video was 2011.
Yeah.
And I had a camcorder that we used to use for like family parties, birthday parties, whatever. And then I took it to Coachella. It was me, Gabby, and Tabo. We both went to Coachella.
Tabo went
three
too?
of us. Tabo
Look at
went.
him
Tabo
partying
actually
it
went.
up.
Tabo went in 2011, and he went in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know Tony.
Yeah,
Oh
of
no,
course.
was it
The twin or the dad?
the twin?
Up there with Toño.
Shit, I think it was Tony or Pedro. Shit, to be honest, I don't remember.
The twins.
But anyway, one of them was like, "Oh, we got in on Friday for Jay-Z. We paid like $100 to some guy picking up trash, and we got us into the festival." So we were on Sunday. We were hanging out at my tia Lourdes' house for it was Easter.
She's my tia too.
Shout out to Lourdes. It was Easter Sunday, and then we were hanging out. He was talking about like, oh, Coachella was sick and shit. And I had gone the year before for see Molotov, and then he's like, you guys want to go see if we could get in?
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck it, let's go. So me, Tavo, and was it Pedro or Tony? I don't remember.
One of the twins.
One of the twins. We because back then you could actually drive into the festival without a bracelet. So we parked. As soon as we walked, some guy picking up trash, like, oh, how much to get in? $50. 50 because we're Mexican.
Yeah.
$50. And then literally he was walking us in, and then two white people walk up, and he's like, $200 for $200.
What the fuck?
He charged them $200, but he charged us $50 for the same thing.
No,
Just because we were
shit,
Mexican,
that's
you know.
no
And then
connection.
he got us in. So the way he did it was, he give you a real bracelet. I don't think they were scanning back then, so you just show it, and then you just take it off. We went into the bathroom. We left it there. He will go in, grab it, and then walk out. And he was
Nada.
that fool probably made hella money.
Nada,
do
they
that too with
shit.
our
It was
friends.
just
Yeah.
look. This one's taped up actually.
Yeah,
So he snuck in on 2010.
What was
It was me and Tavo. So when I turned 18 in 2011, I turned 18. It was my senior year. The lineup came out the week before my birthday because my birthday's in January. And then I told him, like, all I want for my birthday is Coachella. Like, I want to go 3 days. You know, it's like, I want to go. I had gone 2009 on Friday, 2010 on Sunday.
Yeah.
So 2011 was the first time I went the 3 days.
And your sisters go too?
And me and Gabby and Tavo, so they
Gabby
bought.
goes every year? With
She
you?
hasn't gone every year. So she went in 2011. She skipped 2012. Like, she was getting her bachelor's degree, and she was like all stressed out from work, and she didn't want to go that year. We were telling her like, go, just go. And she's like, no, it's okay, this and that. So it was just me and Tavo, and it was the year that like Hologram Tupac and all that stuff, 2012. So
That was cool too. Yeah.
that thing, the Black Keys played, Swedish House Mafia. It was a sick lineup, 2012. But 2011, so it was my first time. You know, I was 18, first time 3 days.
Dude,
We took
I'm
the
gonna cry.
camcorder. That's actually my first Coachella video. So I have videos of like Kanye, Arcade Fire,
Yeah.
Kings of Leon, Wiz Khalifa,
Yeah.
and like that is probably my favorite Coachella, just because it's
That
the first
show
time.
brought me back to life, dude. Yeah. That the bolas falling in the. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It was that
Dude,
good.
I was like, I just had to adjust, and then like the fucking. I remember when they dropped the crate because
Yeah.
there was a big black crate on
I didn't
top
see
of the main
nothing.
stage.
I was so into the music.
then
No me
I-
fijé en nada.
we
Just
were
all
all
of a sudden
talk-
all these balls
We
falling.
were kind of front row too.
We were close for that one.
For that one?
But
Yeah.
dude, we had to leave early because we had to pick up Michael at the Marriott. So we had these 3 bolas, and it's
That's
me,
right.
compadre Joaquin,
Big
you.
fools. In
We're all
the
big
little-ass
people
car
in the
with
little
the
ass
three-
car.
With
And we
big-
had these light up
Going
balls.
down 111.
You guys have them? That's so
Yeah.
cool.
These shits were still lit
They,
the whole time.
yeah,
so
they never.
You're driving around with 3 lit
Yeah.
the car was glowing the whole
That's so
way.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, but Joaquin popped it because he wanted to see what was inside. He's like,
That's
let me
right.
see what's inside. They're tracking us. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, it's
They're
just,
tracking.
it's just art. Like, it's just art.
It was
But-
so cool. And then they were lighting up to the beat of like the neck. Like
Yeah.
I think it was like, I forgot, keep the cars running or something, like the ones after.
See.
They were just lighting up to the beat. Like I'm still waiting for them to do it again. Like they haven't dropped the balloons yet.
Well,
At the Big Four they did,
I'm
but
a
that was
huge,
kinda whack.
I'm a huge Arcade Fire fan. So the first time they played, 2004, was it? I was
I
pregnant.
think it was.
2005. So they played outdoor theater. They had just released what album? I'm bad with names. They had just released their first album, and so I think that's all they had, right? And it was a wild show. Like the dudes were climbing on top of the rafters, and he had just gone through an operation, a gallbladder operation. He had scars, and was told by the doctor, "You're not going anywhere. You got to be off your feet for 2 weeks." And he's like, "But I've got Coachella tickets," and the doctor's laughing at him. He's like, "You ain't going nowhere." But we still show up to Coachella, and he had freaking Vicodin save the day. Back then, they just passed them out to everybody. And I was pregnant. And so I remember we were cutting lines because you would lift up your shirt and people would look at his scars. And I'm like, dude, nah, just go. You know, like, so we wouldn't wait for nothing. We got front of, like, we cut in lines for everything that time. And then we saw, they had a sunset show, Arcade Fire. And you know what's special when it's sunset, right? The sun is coming
I
down.
love sunset shows.
And then I don't know where we were. We were walking the next day, and we see Regine and Will. And I ran to him and I was like, oh my God, you guys are my favorite band. I love you. And Regine me agarró la pancita and he's like, are you pregnant? Is this your baby? I'm like, yes, it's my baby.
That's
So it was just so cute and special. Like, I love that band, right? And there was one year we followed them. We saw them in Mexico City. We saw them in Santa Barbara. We saw them in LA. We saw them at Coachella, San Diego. And then, 2011. 2011 was magical, though. But I had just buried my father. So it was like, I was home, right? And they all went. Because we would have a crew of people. We would host a lot of people. Our friends from LA would come and crash with us. And I remember everybody's like trying to get me to go. Come on, you have to go. You're going to feel better there. I'm like, I don't know. So I was like debating on going. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go. I think the neighbor next door dropped me off. Somehow I found everybody. I found you guys for Caifanes. Because Caifanes reunited. Like, Caifanes reunited.
For Coachella,
For Coachella. And the Mexicans, the fans got credit for selling out 2011 Coachella because of the Caifanes reunion. And Caifanes never stopped touring after 2011. So I had to get there for Caifanes and for the balloon drop. And so seeing that scene, like, all of a sudden, like, that
Caifanes
emotion.
was the outdoor theater, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It was crazy because it was drunk brown folks, and then the flogging Molly was after. So then it was drunk Irish folks, like, within, like, the same crowd. I was like, oh, my God, this is crazy. But that 2011 year was special. And then there was that box. So there was a box in front of, like, Duran Duran. I remember Duran Duran was playing, so I'm saying Duran, but it was in front of the main stage. There was this box that was playing on loop, the Spiritualized song. And it was playing a song that was like our wedding song. Ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in outer space. And so you go inside this box, and it was all black, a pitch black box. And it had, like, lights coming down, like just beams of lights. And so people would, like, lay down and just, like...
Oh, was it, like, on the field left side, kind of close to the beer garden? It's kinda,
Did you go in it?
Yeah, I went in it. Yeah.
Okay, so...
It was an art piece, no?
It was an art piece.
Yeah.
It was one of those special, like, not on the map kind of thing.
I remember that, yeah.
But that's our jam. Like, we love
That's
that
so
band,
sick.
and that wasn't our...
Your wedding song.
That was our wedding song, dude.
That's so cool.
And then I was already crying at Arcade Fire because I had already come back to life. And I remember I got there at a different level where they were all drunk, and they were,
yeah.
Yo me vine like, okay, I'm just here, like, should I be here? Then I get inside that box, and I lay down, and I just start bawling and crying. And there's like therapists, I don't know, there was these guys in black that were, like, hiding in the walls, and they would come to you if they needed you, and they would be like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I just need to cry. And they're like, let it out, release. And I'm like, who the heck are you guys? Like, It was weird, but so I had a moment, and then I had to call him, like, Carlos, come get me. And then he had to, like, pull me out. So that was amazing. Like, all those little moments you have at Coachella that to anybody, he won't remember. To me, it's like, oh my God, that brought me back. So, because it gets emotional. Like, there's so many things that happen at Coachella, like, there's no wrong or right way to do it. There's a million stories.
So how was your experience in 1999? Once, like, the festival was over, what did you think of the festival? Like, wow, that was cool. That
was
crazy.
The best thing ever, dude. And
really
I didn't
cool.
even, there was no way, like, to me, I felt like there's no way it's going to happen again. Because it wasn't sold out, right? And it wasn't like...
No, we all complained for sure.
Yeah, there was...
It was, like, expensive. Water was, like, $4, I think.
There was issues, right?
It was really windy.
It was hot. It was really October.
Dirty.
It felt hella grungy.
It was really grungy. Like, porta potties weren't.
Oh, that was
as
disgusting.
cleaned up as they are now.
The porta potties were nasty. Yeah, well, now there's nice porta potties.
Many things, like, food wasn't as available. Long ass lines.
Yeah.
Set times weren't on time like they are now.
The sound kind of sucked.
On point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now it's on point.
Yeah.
So the sound wasn't the best.
I mean, the sound was cool, but I'm saying, like, the set times, like, people weren't on point. Like, if a band had to go on at 4, it wasn't going on at 4. It had to wait, like, 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, now it's different.
Now it's like you have a cutoff time. If you don't start at that time, you're off at that time.
But it was grungy. It was a grungy show, but it was still fun.
It was great, though.
Yeah.
Loved it.
What was your favorite set from 1999?
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against. How was that? How was that?
It was
energy?
a giant pit.
Crazy.
Like, the whole freaking the whole field. How
Yeah.
it was like a giant pit and then another pit and then like it was.
The whole thing was
Just
a
pits.
pit.
Pits.
Almost
I
What was
just-
it? 25,000 people the first one, right?
I don't know, and they're probably all
I
right
don't
there.
think so. No, I think it was way more.
Way more than
I
25,000?
think so.
I thought it was 25,000 the first
Could
one.
have been, but it just seemed like a
No,
bunch of
25,000 was 1993 with Pearl Jam. So 1999 probably. I don't know how many.
There is an event that came in between those. It was a rave
At the polo field?
at the polo field, and that's actually what caused the controversy with sound levels and curfews. So I think it was 2000 because 99 happened in 2000.
They canceled.
So it was in 2000. It might have been an Insomniac production, but I remember the flyer was like shit. Hold on. I think the flyer was like a cow in a pasture, and that was a rave that they had at the polo fields. No, I don't have it. And
So
It-
that booklet is pictures and stuff from 1999, right?
yes,
Because, so
'Cause-
it could show us what that is.
I scrapped. Like, dude, okay, so the reason why the way I am, how I am on Dear Indio, like, I won't just put a picture, I'll put a caption to, like, everything. I'm telling a story. But that's, I'm the family, her story. And so I make a picture book out of everything, or a scrapbook. But this is what I've been thinking. This ain't never going to happen again. So my Fujifilm, cheap-ass, horrible pictures, all the shadows. Like, you can't even see who's
That's
there.
like so vintage, bro. That's crazy.
But I remember there
It's
was
probably
like,
from a disposable camera. Too.
it was Fuji, the ones that you would throw away. But there was like 4 of us there. It was me, my brother, my comadre Marta, our friend Sandra. And then Sandra, she went one day and said, she's like, that was it. And then she went to Mexicali.
Was it 2 or 3 days?
It was 2 days.
2 days.
She went to Mexicali to get her tooth pulled instead.
Instead of
She's
going to
like,
Coachella.
she was like, nah, you know what? Mexicali's close by. Let me go get my tooth pulled. But Morrissey,
I only went on Sunday because I didn't want to see Morrissey.
he's anti-Morrissey.
But I only went on Sunday because I think I only had $50 for one day. So
So a single day pass $50?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was $50.
Yeah.
So I could only do one.
Yeah.
So, but what sucked was driving home after getting stomped on after Tool and Rage
Yeah.
back to back.
They were both on Sunday, back to back?
Yeah.
Main
it
stage?
was-
How many stages was it in 1999?
I think it was like 3 also.
3
It
stages?
had main stage.
No, maybe the same, maybe 5 because it
Dude,
was
I
the
have the
main,
booklet.
little outdoor. I think they had different names and then other little tents.
I missed this booklet this year, by
'Cause
the
there
way.
was- there was a hip hop / drum and bass tent. That was really dope.
Yeah.
That's going to try and turn the...
No,
tr-
they
this-
had the legit, all of them were there. Main stage, outdoor theater, Mojave, Sahara, and Gobi.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
wow.
The original ones.
to
All of
19
them.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Oh, but that was the different thing too. In between bands, they would throw up a DJ. So in between,
Yeah, that's what I miss.
yeah, Perry
Yeah.
and Morrissey,
That's right.
there was a DJ playing. So it was nonstop music. Now they shut it down.
Wait till the next one settles in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
it was even
the music
I think it
never
was Jason
stopped.
Bentley.
Jason Bentley and Raymond Roker, stuff like that.
And let me see that.
Dude, these little booklets. Oh,
You're going to toss it. The guide. That's
and I
so
missed that because I guess this
Yeah,
year
they
they
don't
didn't
have
do
those
it.
anymore.
Yeah.
Now they force you
Welcome.
to use your app.
Welcome one and all to the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival 1999. You hold in your hands the guide to the Coachella Festival.
Aye.
In this guide, you will find complete listings for all stages and tents, as well as highlights and points of interest throughout the festival site. This weekend, we are proud to present some of the finest bands and DJs from around the world, representing many different genres of music and styles. We have put a great deal of thought and planning into your comfort and safety so that you may have a memorable Coachella 1999
And
experience.
we forgot. Was it memorable?
Be safe and enjoy the show. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was
So
fun.
main stage outdoor, Mojave, Sahara, Gobi.
So this
It
was
tells
the
you the whole
art.
lineup.
You know how we have art right now where it's like, damn, this art is so gorgeous. Like, it was trapos with paint. You know, like there was the art, that was the live painting, and that was it.
That's
or
right.
or they had a lot of rock stuff, huh? Like metal, rock, welder art.
I think so, yeah.
Because here's me on a chair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the tents too. There was a lot more like felt kind of swamp meat
Yeah,
kind
it did
of
feel like that.
like in between the stages, they would have white tents, and they would have just vendors, like a swap meet, like just be selling like that tapestry or umbrellas. And then there was I don't what year had a Nortec tent. Remember there was a Nortec tent? So 99, 2000, 2001 happens, and then the Nortec Collective out of Tijuana was like a big thing. Yeah. So they had their own tent, and they had their own DJs playing the whole day.
Oh, wow.
So then pasaban like the Café Tacuba guys would pop in there. And you would see them at every Coachella, the Café Tacuba guys. Even if they didn't play Coachella, they were in the audience walking around. And you'd be like, oh, my God, there he is. And that's what last time I was here when Cele was on the mic, like, there was so many Mexicans from Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, there was a tour. Like, you would see these guys with little flags, and there would be a group of Mexicans, like, from Mexico. And then it would grupo something, like travel. Like, you would see the travel agency that sponsored them. Yeah. And you're like, damn, how can I get that job? Like, if I were to go back in time and become rich, like, I think, that's something cool, like, that people did is, like, sponsor or foster or whatever.
They still do those guides. I just had somebody on the podcast from her first time at Coachella was 2015. And she joined a group of people from Australia. Yeah. So they sell these packages in Australia. Like the week before Coachella, they go to LA. They visit all these like places. Then they come to Coachella, and then after Coachella, they visit somewhere else. So like it's like a 2-week United States vacation type thing.
We gotta do
and
that.
And it's like a whole touring. Like people that don't want to worry about tickets, they just want to visit the United States. It's an Australian kind of like that, like 2-week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The HOA doesn't let us host people, though. So.
They're anti.
We should have. No, it was way different then.
That's so crazy.
It's just
so
changed.
So 2004 was your favorite. What was another one that you could say is close second or third favorite Coachella experience?
Of those times?
Just in general.
Like the first years. I thought those were just because everything was a first, right? Like seeing
how was the year 2000? So 1999 got canceled. Sorry about cutting you off. So 1999 happened, 25,000 people went, and then the year 2000, they actually lost like I think like $500,000. And then the people from I saw in the documentary they said the owners of Lollapalooza helped pay for
Perry.
Yeah, they helped pay for everything.
Yeah.
And the year 2000, Coachella was canceled. So how was it like? Oh damn, they're not doing it again. Did you ever think it was gonna come back?
No, never. So I think that rave that happened in between messed it up, and like the communities around the polo grounds were mad that these little ravers were running into the streets.
So what happened? What do you say? You mentioned that earlier. Like, what happened? Where you
because everybody was high, everybody was drunk, everybody was so high. It was 4 or 6 in the morning when it was over. Like it was a true rave that happened all night long at the polo ground. So imagine if you're these, snowbirds. So like, what the hell's going on? And then they were all spill into the streets. We had like one Denny's that was open, So then I remember it was just chaos that everybody was mad at this rave. And so then the city got really strict on, okay, we need to have a curfew for these events. We need to have, like a policy. I think that's why the whole curfew thing became an issue this year, because they got really strict with it. And then you just assume that it wasn't going to happen again. So then when it came back, you're like, oh, wow, it's coming back. But like every year for a long time was like Perry Farrell, Jane's Addiction, DJ, whatever. It was one kind of whatever Perry Farrell was doing. It was like, he was always there. So you would always see him. Yeah. Like the way you had your Bad Bunny experience where ahí estaba enfrente de ti. Like I remember watching Jane's Addiction thinking, wow, I'm watching Jane's Addiction. And then Perry passes by. I'm like, oh, because then he ran onto he climbed a speaker to like perform from there, which was a big deal then. Like, oh my gosh, they're in the audience, right? Like it was crazy when an artist would actually walk in to the audience.
I think that was 2001 when Coachella came back. Yeah, the headline. Coachella.
Jane's Addiction was a headliner, I believe.
Yeah, that was a good Coachella too.
Yeah. All those like rock ones. I miss seeing like those bands.
Rock or just legit rock bands.
Yeah, rock bands.
The last 2 years is starting to feel like they're trying to bring rock back, like more indie rock back.
Which is cool because I feel like as a fan, you can walk all the way to the front. You know what I mean? Like the crowd isn't there for those rock bands. Like the Breeders were there this year, and we were right in front. Like. There is a crowd, obviously, but it's not like so massive because everybody's like at the DJ or Sahara. There are other places. So for when the rock bands are there, I feel like you can easily walk
no
up.
one's there for rock anymore.
No,
basically.
not really.
Yeah.
There isn't any, and no one's there for that. You know, so if there is small tent and then you're gonna be in the front, you're lucky.
Well, this year we got Blink-182 coming back.
That was a comeback. See, that was a comeback.
And
Well,
it's-
last year they had
yeah.
Arcade Fire during the 6 p.m. I'm so pissed I didn't get to see them. I was so disappointed
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
they were at the same time as Grupo Firme last year.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I was with my friends. I'm like, oh, yeah, they wanted to see Grupo Firme. I'm like,
That's first
oh,
weekend?
Arcade
Yeah.
Fire got added. I'll watch them weekend two because I
Yeah.
was going both weekends.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I didn't know it was like a one weekend only
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You know, that's the
damn.
beauty of it, right? Because you don't know what the heck is going to go on.
And I'm so mad because, so in 2011, like I said, when I was 18, Arcade Fire just like, it just imprinted on me like this is probably that's my favorite Coachella performance of all time.
Awesome.
The 2011 with the
Aw,
balloons
me
dropping,
too.
like it was so cool. Like it was just awesome. And then
Yeah.
in 2014, they were headliners. I think it was a Sunday. And I drank 2 Four Locos before going in. By like 6 p.m., my head was pounding. I
Yeah.
couldn't enjoy Kid Cudi. I couldn't enjoy
No.
Arcade Fire.
Mhm.
I ruined my own Coachella experience.
Yeah.
And I was so mad. And then they came back last year, and I didn't get to see them. So I was just like, damn, like
Yeah.
I want to see them one more time. But
Yeah.
yeah, Arcade Fire's just from watching them at Coachella. Like I only knew a few songs, but their performance was just so like
Just
Well, that's
just
the
don't
thing.
get fucked up early.
yeah.
Well, those
Don't,
are the
that's why
things.
I don't even drink alcohol going to
You
Coachella
can't.
anymore.
You get
I drink like a
you get
little
too
bit, but not
dehydrated.
really.
So do
Like
I,
I'd
but-
rather be hydrated and enjoy as
Yeah,
much
man.
music as
Yeah.
I
possible.
mean, I already forget shit, and if I get too drunk,
yeah.
it's over. Why even buy a ticket? Why even
Exactly.
go in?
You don't even
Useless.
remember, bro. Like
Yeah.
you could always party at home, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna be
Yeah.
watching the best artists in the world, like why not just
That's the only
remember
reason I go,
everything,
dude.
you know?
I'm, there's no Coachella fashion for me. In the little article,
Be comfortable. Exactly,
I
like-
put a fanny pack on what I wear right now. That's my Coachella fashion. Like I've never. Eso no me importa.
Exactly.
I literally go for the bands and
the
the music, and that's
it's
it.
so the best artists in the world
Yeah.
are literally here, you know.
Mhm.
So what's like your top 5 favorite Coachella performances of all time?
Arcade Fire.
In no order, you know, just
Mazzy Star. You know who Mazzy Star is?
no.
Hope Sandoval. She's Chicana from East LA, but she
Tangent,
became big in the indie rock scene. Fade Into You is her biggest hit. It's really slow. Fade into
I don't know
cut it. So it was that Coachella year where it rained. We had one Coachella year where it rained, 2012. It rained the
On
first
Friday.
weekend.
The Friday, yeah.
So we all were at Yellow Mart buying the plastic ponchos, like getting ready for the desmadre because we imagined it was gonna be like mud pits and it, but we were ready. We were just like, let's go. But it was just beautiful. But watching Mazzy Star in front of her, again, because the crowd, she didn't pull a crowd because it's a specific band.
Yeah.
But like she doesn't really perform that much, So we were right in front. She started singing. The rain started. I'm like, oh my God! Like,
What stage is this?
Outdoor theater.
Outdoor theater,
Yeah,
nice.
and it was just right in front of us. So that was magical. And then the next weekend was like the hottest weekend ever.
Mhm.
It was like weird. That was beautiful. I liked Public Enemy Outdoor Theater. I don't know what year that was.
I don't know either, but that was one of my favorites too, for sure. Public Enemy.
I couldn't believe it
Mhm.
because
I believe it.
Well, first of
They're
all,
the
because you
shit.
don't see hip hop like that at Coachella as much, right? But you're bringing Public Enemy, who was like the best hip hop band of all time, and they didn't even pull a crowd either. Like, and I'm like, where are the kids?
What year
but
is this?
I don't even know,
No idea, man.
dude. We forget. I should.
Come on.
It's in that book.
No idea, but they killed it.
Yeah, but I grew up watching MTV already. Like
Yeah.
Channel 18, that's what MTV. Like I turn on the TV, and 18 was MTV. So watching UMTV Raps, like my brother's a big hip hop head. Like, but he never went to Coachella. But Public Enemy, he would blast it on repeat. So to see them live and see how amazing they rapped, and they were older, obviously. I didn't even know Chuck D, and I didn't even know they were gonna be there.
Yeah.
And just to see them, that was amazing. That was a
Yeah, I
good
think
show.
seeing a lot of hip hop there was really cool because you don't see a lot of it. Oh, I mean, in the 2000s, going back in the early 2000s,
Mhm.
it was like the Roots are one of the first groups also to play.
Jurassic
Coachella.
5.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
J5 was the first one, I think.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
they
they
were
were
the
day
first
one.
Do you guys see Kanye 2006?
No, dude.
No.
I know them, but
No.
my respect. I know you're a big fan.
This is my favorite artist of all
No,
time.
I didn't
But
see
our
that
friend was
full.
there. Angie was there.
She's a huge fan.
And we were like, I forgot where we were, but we just needed to sit. And she's like, I'm going to go watch Kanye. Don't leave me. I'm like, all right, girl. She goes to watch Kanye, comes back in tears. Oh, the most beautiful. She was like,
Do you guys
it
get
was
to
the ultimate for her.
See Daft Punk?
Dude, why you rub it in like that?
No.
We talk about this.
That's
I was
2006,
breastfeeding.
2005, 2006.
Golden Voice really needs to do a better job in like supporting breastfeeding mothers. Like, where was I gonna pump at Coachella? You know, there was nowhere from. I'm in a porta potty. Like I see these families walking around. And I'm like, poor babies. Where are they gonna go? You know, and there's no family friendly tent. You know, but still people want to take their babies. So, anyways, I had to go home to go feed my baby. I was struggling that day. I remember just thinking, oh my God, I have to go home because it hurt.
I was pretty pissed off because we had to leave.
Yeah.
And then the next day you read about it being one of the greatest
show of all time.
And Jimmy, rubbing it in.
My brother was there.
So that was rough. But I mean, I don't regret it.
Nah, it's part of the show.
Fuck it,
You get to experience what you get to experience, and you don't, it's fine.
Yeah.
But like I said too, like the production value is so insane now. Like if this pyramid came out, would it be the big deal that it is now? I don't know.
Like now it wouldn't even
like would it even be a big deal?
Not at all.
Because it was like when you would see the Pixies play, it was just the Pixies, you're right. It was nothing happening. It was just the band and that was it. You didn't see like the images.
Huge production now, man. You see the screens.
But you think that makes the bands better? The ones that really blew you, like
not
the ones that really like imprinted on you? Because now it's like, yes, you see the band, but then it's like it also comes with $1 million freaking lights and.
But that's true. Like,
show.
Okay, so I wasn't impressed with Blackpink. I don't get it. I still don't get it. I yawned so much during the whole performance. I was like, why am I yawning? Oh, this isn't good. Oh, this is just production, And I had seen the Blackpink Netflix special with my daughter.
Yes.
And I was like, ooh, this is like K-pop factories, as they call them, because they're just like.
Yeah, it's cookie cutter.
Yeah, like pobrecita. So I felt like this last theme I'm watching them, like, poor girls. Like, are they even into it? And then they kept saying Blackpink. Whatever, in your area.
Blackpink in your area.
I kept telling my daughter.
I saw them.
I'm like, oh my God, like the Chola in me is like, what you're in my area.
What colors are you wearing?
Yeah. Oh.
Blackpink, that's what you mean. You gotta be rapping.
He's down for Blackpink.
Hey, I saw Blackpink twice in 2019.
Hell yeah.
And because my niece, Frida, she was on.
I know she's into K-pop.
She was into, well, not anymore. She grew out of it. But she was on into like BTS, K-pop, all that stuff. And then she was talking about it. So I actually took her that Friday to go see Blackpink when she was like 16.
She must have loved it.
I just took her that Friday.
Yeah.
I had watched Blackpink weekend 1, and then I watched it weekend 2. So I got to see them twice.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, they're cool. And then weekend 2 of this year as a headliner, I watched maybe the first 40 minutes, and then I took off to see other artists. Yeah, like
if you're good, you're good.
You could.
You know what I mean?
Like
if you're.
I actually liked the. You know what I liked is because I was watching Rosalia, and I was watching Rosalia on Saturday weekend 1. You guys get to see her set?
No, but I give her credit as having the best show.
She was
because
so
I saw her
good.
live or whatever the feed.
Yeah,
I saw it 5 times that weekend. Mm-hmm. Like I saw it first weekend twice, and then 3 times.
Why 5 times?
Because it was that good.
It was really good. Like
I would get home and like
rewind it
all the way back so I can watch the feed.
Yeah.
And then we ate our, what the heck did we eat?
Rosalia was fire. So
she was amazing, but there was no way.
The way I see like Blackpink is like Rosalia was badass, doing choreographies and singing and emotional. And then I was like, Blackpink is the same thing but 4 girls. Like they're singing, they're literally singing. It's not like lip sync or nothing. Like they're performing, doing crazy dances.
But is it their art? Are they the artists?
Are they made on a factory?
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah,
and that's to me, it's like, okay, I get it. I get why people love them, right? To see the whole show, the spectacle, whatever. But like I'm watching a performer and I'm looking at Rosalia, who I'm not even a fan of. Like I can't even say I'm a big fan of.
I knew like 2 Rosalia songs. But I was, to be honest, it depends who you're with. Yeah. So Rosalia was with my friend Adan, who was like, he knew every song. He was twerking and shit. Like he was going hard. This dude, like, my first Coachella. No, this dude's a beast, dude. Like, so I had 2 Coachella vlogs. They haven't came out yet. So Coachella weekend 1, a lot of times I don't act crazy. Like when I'm watching a show, I'm not like going crazy. I enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like going like this and shit. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's people sometimes, because I've been recording for a long time, so I like to highlight people. So I was just like recording Nadan, you know, just he was one of those characters that just goes too crazy for artists and makes the experience cooler, you know. And he was just singing every song, like he started twerking, everybody was like hyping him up. They were recording him. I had my cinema camera, like it was a whole vibe. And like Rosalia, like choreography, when she came out, like everything was so
she
sick.
Writes the songs.
She made like she does, because she came from flamenco or whatever.
Yeah, the
flamenco artist, and then she went did reggaeton, whatever. It's music. Music is music. Yeah. And then she would do like these cool like scenes, like the cinematography was so good, the way they were shooting everything, and like I make
the
videos.
Artist participation.
So good. She would like. I
love that.
I got that on the vlog too.
So
oh
cute.
Man, like she had two people singing her songs with her, like. It was so real.
She looked like she had a great time.
She did like this one song where she was like, I didn't even think she was wearing makeup. I don't know. Like it looked like it was just her. Like just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She was singing this song, and then the camera was like really close on her face, like a real close up, and she was just singing and playing piano and like real getting like her emotions into it. And I'm like, that's badass. Like she poured her heart out. I could see her coming back as a headliner maybe in the future.
Yeah, but that's gonna be messed up because she will sell out Acrisure if she comes back. And Moto Papi didn't sell out, right?
Oh, it didn't?
No, her her husband or her boyfriend.
Oh,
Raul Alejandro.
That motherfucker, yeah.
He's gonna ego trip knowing that his girlfriend sells out, right? But he didn't.
Yeah, she killed it. And then like 2 weeks after Coachella, she just did a performance in Mexico City with 120,000 people were watching.
200,000.
200,000.
My tia.
Oh my God.
I went to go visit my tia in San Diego, and she's asking me, ¿Y esta Rosalía quién es? And I'm trying to explain to her, I'm like, ella es de España. Imagínate como Rocío Dúrcal, right? Yeah. Playing her rancheras, because Rocío Dúrcal is from Spain, but in the 80s, she was playing pure Mexican music.
Yeah.
So, right? So, dominated. And I know there's like the pushback on Rosalía because she's Española and she's doing reggaeton, right?
Yeah.
So I played it for them. I was taking them to a casino, and I played the whole Rosalía Motomami. And my uncle, who's 90 years old, was like, pues no le veo chiste. Like, right? Because I was starting with the flamenco one first, thinking, oh, this is what he's going to like. But he's like, cámbiale. And, you know, she does all the genres. Like, so that album has a bunch of genres. And then I put a reggaeton one, and he's like, no, esta sí me gusta. You know, so it was so cute to see, like, my elders, like, appreciate this. It was cool. But, yeah, so even my mom's talking about it, my tia's talking about Rosalía, you know? It's because it's crazy.
She stole the show. Like, yeah, she was badass.
Yeah. And, same with, like, when Beyonce came. I can't say I'm a Beyonce fan. Like, I'm not part of the Beehive or Beehive, whatever. And then we didn't even see Beyonce, right? Because she had such a huge crowd. There was no point in watching it from, like, a mile away, you know? So I told Carlos, I'm like, let's go find something else. So we end up in the Mojave tent. Or where do we end up? We end up, Papi, when we saw the Japan X. And there were, we walked in to some tent where it felt like we were the only non-Japanese people there.
That's right.
So this band called X Japan was having their union show, you know? So it was a crowd of Japanese fans and us brown folks. And we're like, what is this? There was flames. There was 2 holograms. Because two of their, I guess, of their band members had died. And so they brought them back, like, and I guess Marilyn Manson was there.
What?
Like, it was an insane performance.
I actually have heard about that.
Like, it was a legendary thing that people in the U.S. don't know about.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Like,
I don't know who they are.
We don't know them.
But apparently people who were there were like, no, this is why we're here.
Yeah.
Because
they were
legends.
The way they were.
Legends.
They're like the equivalent to Kiss, I guess, and that kind of like performance and art. And so we didn't understand the music, but it was rock, right?
It was just something
and
cool.
And the fans just crying right there. We're like, oh my God.
That's what it is.
I loved that one.
There's 7 stages now. And it's like, whatever you're at, just experience and have a good time.
It's exactly why we didn't rush over to Rosalía. Because I knew she did a good show.
Whoever you watch, just enjoy the moment.
We were at the Breeders.
Yeah. There's no like right or wrong way. Like you're saying, you can watch Beyonce for in the back, or you can watch that experience.
I preferred the being in that moment, like knowing that we were surrounded by fans and like, you know how you're in a crowd and you can hear talker. Nobody was talking. Like they were just like in awe of this band that we had never heard of. We're like, oh my God. Like,
last year,
so cool.
Nathaniel Cano. It was weekend to Coachella, and I didn't get to see him weekend 1 because we went to see Doja Cat. But then weekend 2, I was like, I gotta go see Nata. So we went to it was in the Gobi.
The blue hair guy, right? Tiene pelo azul. Oh, he had it then,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, all the tattoos and shit.
Okay.
So it was maybe 8:30 or 9 p.m. at the Gobi on Sunday. You know, like everyone's watching Doja Cat, The Weeknd, and Swedish House Mafia are playing next, whatever. So we went in there, you know, like nothing but Mexicans, fucking tejanas, and like corridos tumbados, and like just hearing like Mexican music, just like with that production and the bass like vibrating off the ground and shit. Like that was just like, damn, that was an experience. And like the rest of the crowd, you know, they're Doja Cat mainstay because she could have been a headliner, you know, she's huge. But I don't know, there's just like whenever a headliner's playing, but you're somewhere else, it's like whoever's at that stage is literally just there for them, you know, and it just creates a different vibe. Like I love it.
We were at what son was it? It was
Damien
Marley.
Mm-hmm.
Damien Marley.
Welcome to Jamrock.
On April 20th, 420, at 420. So here we go. Marley's playing. Ahí viene todo el humo, like at 420 right away. Like
that's main stage now?
No, we were in outdoor theater.
Outdoor theater? What year was this?
Oh my God. Again, we don't even.
That was like 2013.
No idea.
No, I'm sure it was more recent.
She's got the booklet.
I know, but it doesn't even have the.
It was like 2013 or 14. Cause I remember. I remember who he played. It was Damien Marley.
Yeah, so it was after 2011.
But moments like that is like how crazy, you know, 420.
Yeah.
You're watching a Marley.
Yeah.
You're in a fog of what the heck is happening here. Of course, I wasn't, but but it was.
You were observing from the car.
You know, as a sociologist.
So okay, well first let me go back.
I haven't answered your question.
I don't know what question.
My top 5.
You only answered like 2.
My bad.
It's okay. What's your other 3?
What did we say? Dude, what's happening back here? Tokyo drifting. Roger Waters, the lead of Pink Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
God. Okay. So I worked Desert Trip. I was able to work Desert Trip, the concert with the old Coachella.
Yeah.
But Roger Waters did Coachella before that, and he had a pig. Like that's part of his thing where he has a pig, and then he sings a song. And it was so windy that day that the pig fucking flew away. It just like snapped off and it went away. And then it came out on the news like, if the pig landed in your front yard, you get VIP Coachella or Stagecoach tickets for life. So we're driving around the neighborhoods around the polo fields like, we've got to find this fucking pig. Some people found it, obviously. It landed in their backyard. Like, how cool is that?
That's
like,
sick.
They get tickets for life because the trash landed. Yeah, the artist wanted it back. But watching that, I remember, have you ever heard of the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon?
Yeah, with the
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So some vendors started projecting it. Like, so there was a whole pantalla of the Wizard of Oz playing.
That's right.
Right? It was just like we were walking around and someone had projected it. And Roger Waters is playing right behind there. And it synced up. And you're like, oh, my God, right? So we just sat down. Mm-hmm. Instead of fighting to get close, we just sat watching Wizard of Oz, right? And then it was live.
What year was this?
Dude.
You didn't know
I think it was the same year as Prince.
2006.
Was it?
Which Prince for me was like another top 5 for sure.
Yeah, Prince was amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
But Prince was just like, I mean, it's Prince, you know? I had never seen Prince. I'm a huge Prince fan. His dad is like Mr. 80s pop guy. So his dad listened to all that music. And I think of all the pop guys that your dad's a fan of, Prince is the only one that you're a fan of too. But we had to watch Prince. And that's that show was amazing. That show was crazy. Mm-hmm. But I remember it being so packed. Like it is now. Like it was already packed then. I don't even know why. What year was that?
2005 or 6 or 7.
Was it?
Yeah. I think it's 2005.
I have the book here and it doesn't even have the years. But Prince Coachella was cool. There we go. It was. You're right. Ding, ding.
What was it?
Prince, Roger Waters. Mm-hmm. No dice el año. Kraftwerk. Again, we're big fans of Kraftwerk. So Prince was cool. But I really liked how he started off with Sheila E. and he started off with Moore's Day and the Time. So they came out first. Moore's Day and the Time came out first, and Sheila E. came out first.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a big fan of this music, you're like, oh my God, you know, like they're, da, da, like all the music's going, and then Prince comes out. How you doing, Coachella? You're in the biggest party on earth. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Prince. Like, yes, we are. But, you know, like Sheila E., she's Mexicana. Like, when we talk about, like, Latinos that have been there, I know everybody's giving props to Bad Bunny, but, I mean, Zach de la Rocha is Latino, he's Chicano, right? And Sheila E., she's half Mexicana. So, you know, we've been there. Brown people have been there.
Yeah.
Mars Volta, right? They're rockers from Texas. Like, you know, they've all had their moments.
Do you get to see 2006 Madonna?
I don't know where you went. Where'd you go?
I went to see a band called Mogwai, which is like a noise rock band, because I wasn't gonna go see Madonna. Man.
He says to him,
Coachella. That's when Coachella for me went.
She was at the Sahara.
He says it went downhill.
That's when Coachella fucked it up for me, because that's when they went pop, and then ever since then is when they started bringing in the bigger acts that they are known for now. Oh yeah, big time.
Dude, like Ariana Grande, I still can't believe she got headliner.
Spot, yeah.
But
Lady Gaga.
But you were happy about Madonna.
Hell yeah.
So fuck
I
that,
grew up on
you
MTV. Like Madonna to me.
I
got tickets to Agrisher. Like I'm seeing Madonna. If Madonna's in my house.
It's her last tour.
Yeah, if Madonna's in my house, I'm gonna go see
Yeah,
Madonna.
I guess so, but not me.
Yeah, so that was fun.
So I was like one of like a few hundred fools that were in, like at the outdoor theater watching
In the
Mogwai, all the boyfriends of all the.
Oh shit! It was just men.
Nobody wanted to see Madonna and
Yeah.
shit. Like it was just not my thing. So it was cool to see Mogwai,
Yeah.
who I really like, and like by myself too. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So has it been for you like the last like 5-6 years where it's like
Rough.
super mainstream,
Rough,
not enough
dude,
rock,
rough,
not enough indie?
Rough,
Yeah.
fucking rough.
Yeah. Se fue pronto. Like
I'm struggling, dude. I'm struggling to like stay.
But every year he says, it's my last one. And he'll still be the first one to buy the...
Every year is my last one, but fuck it, you know?
But he loves me. He'll
It's
buy the...
new music. Like sometimes I don't even know some of... Like this year, I didn't know a lot of the artists.
Yeah.
Like it was so crazy.
Our kids did though. That's
So,
what's cool.
But you end up liking some shit though, so it was cool. You know, like I
Well,
did like
we actually listened to every artist in the lineup.
You did?
We
Is it on YouTube?
We didn't do it live stream.
Oh,
it was
you
me and
should do
Alex. It took us maybe like an hour and a half per day. So it took us like a few weeks. So we started from the bottom. Whoever was the last ticker, it was like these little DJs, little bands.
Yeah.
We literally went backwards from the lowest on Friday to the top, and then Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we made a list, maybe like the top 20 of every day that we wanted to see. And then from there we made our decision like final day. So we actually, it's the first I've never done it before.
That's
because
cool.
I didn't know so many artists. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, what are these people, you know? And we got to discover some of them. We got to see a couple artists, but overall, this year was pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
the production, just so
I still
crazy.
have a blast. Like I'll stop going, and like I'm not trying to go every year just to say I go every year. Like I'm stopping
It's the best
when I'm
show.
done.
It's the
but like
sickest show.
I love music, so why not go to a show?
It's
that's
in your
down the street,
Exactly.
you know. Like to
And
me,
even
it's
if
worth
you don't
it
know,
still.
like the artist, like appreciate whatever you know.
Dude,
like, yeah, like
I get lost in the music. I don't
like
even know
sometimes
who's
I don't
around.
even know the songs, and then I'm surrounded by people that are like singing lyric to lyric,
Yeah.
and like there's people crying next to you, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, let me enjoy it, you know. Like I don't know the music, but
Yeah.
I'm in the moment now. You
He's
know?
over it.
But it's not,
No,
but it's not $50 anymore.
Well, yeah,
that's
that
true.
too.
Fuck.
But it was really cute. I don't know if my kids are listening, but they like we were gonna leave to see Blondie, and like you know this is the first time that we as a family have gone together. So I told the kids, you know, they're high schoolers, so in the daytime go do your thing, but at night because it gets so different and it's so dark, like we're together. So I don't even know where we were gonna go to Blondie. Blondie had so much people, like we ended up like in the back on the side. I told him, like,
Yeah.
that's fine. Let's go see what the kids are watching. So their band was The Garden. They love The Garden. I don't know anything about The Garden. So we got back into that tent, and I didn't want them to see me. I just wanted them to experience it, and we're going to watch. And it was so cute to see them, like, freak out, like, word for word, sing all the songs and jumping up and down. And then The Garden's pretty cool. Like, I didn't know of them.
I don't know The Garden too bad.
Dude, they came out with this jester hat. Like, they were both wearing, like, face paint, like jesters.
Yeah.
But then this big old mono came out, like, with a big jester hat, and they're just making it move on stage. And I can't even tell you what kind of music it is. Just some kind of like rock.
It's all
pop,
kinds of stuff, but they were cool. Yeah, they killed it.
They were
They
fun to
killed it.
watch. Yeah.
What's somebody you watched this year that you were like down there besides the Garden? Like someone was like
This year
Yeah.
that I loved?
Yeah, that someone that you had never heard of that you got to see.
I was happy to see Eve's Tremor.
East Tremor.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Tumor?
East Tumor or
East Tumor.
Temor. Or whatever.
Yeah, they were cool.
What else?
Oh, well, like, I'm fans of Kamasi Washington. We're fans of Kamasi Washington. And they had a whole, he has a new project. And so we hadn't heard of the dinner party. We went to go see the dinner party. And,
Those at the Mojave.
and we weren't going to leave Despacio because it was still hot outside. And we're like, come on, let's just go. Let's go check it out. So we left. And then we show up there. And I'm trying to get to the front. And he's like, oh, I'm going to finish my burger in the back. And then I'm creeping up, and there's one of the guys from De La Soul right there. And he's a huge De La Soul fan. And so I'm like, oh, my God, he's right here. And I go back, De La Soul. And he's not one to be like,
go up to
fan, you know. But for Della, I don't know what he said from the back. He's like, oh, shit, it's Plug One. And Plug One turned around. He's like, what's up, man? You know, he was so cool to us.
That's so sick.
But because I'm a fan of my husband. I know he's a fan of. But I didn't even take a camera. Like, I didn't take my pic. You know, like, it's a moment where they had.
It happened.
It happened. And then I was able to sneak in closer to see Kamasi. That was fun, seeing them as a whole band, seeing all that. But I don't know. Who else did I discover this year? I mean, I get Rosalia now.
It just happened, and I still...
The whole Rosalia thing, which at first I understood why people were calling her a colonizer. Like, she takes over. Whatever, I get it. But
it's music. It's music. I don't think...
She's an entertainer. She's, she's an artist. She gave a production. Yeah, we're all motomamis now. And then I get Bad Bunny. I'm not going to say I was a Bad Bunny fan.
Yeah, me too. Before going in, like, I knew a few songs. But, like, well, once I got to experience that moment where, like, I made eye contact with this fool, so it's like, he imprinted on me.
So fun. The whole show was amazing.
Yeah,
from start to finish.
Fun. Yeah.
And we didn't even stay for the whole thing, but we started walking towards the end, you know, because we wanted to, like, beat the crowd. So we saw all of that.
Calvin
we saw
Harris?
his whole show.
Did you guys see Calvin Harris?
No, I think we left by then. That was Sunday, right? No, Saturday. I don't know where
after
I was.
Blackpink. So Blackpink played, and maybe like an hour after, 30 minutes after. Like,
we went to...
Calvin Harris was so much fun. That dude's a legend.
We just heard it from far away, though.
Yeah.
Did we? No,
that one's like...
Oh, no, we saw J. Paul.
Oh, how was that?
Amazing. And so that's another artist, because we sat, like, there's a... You know where the Rose Garden's at?
Yeah.
That white fence right there. I love that back support. So that's one of our spots. Done it? Hell yeah. So we go to the Rose Garden. We needed to sit. So we just, I think you took a little nap.
I just lay down and go to sleep.
Yeah. But our kids wanted to see J. Paul. They kept talking about it.
For the story, yeah.
Yeah. They're fans. They know all the songs. I watched it from the side. I'm like, oh, he's really good. You know, like, he wasn't trying to... Like, he's very, like, you're doing your second show ever. Yeah. Right? And you do it so good, so naturally. And knowing that he went through some trauma, it's like, oh, man. He was good. I love that. So, respects to J. Paul. I don't even know. J. Paul.
J. Paul, yeah.
Who else? Did we forget who played already?
Of course.
Dude.
Do you see any DJ sets like Chris Lake or... Who else had a good show? The hologram show, Eric Prydz.
No me meto en Sahara, dude.
I think the only DJ
No, it was at the outdoor theater.
Oh, nothing. I don't even think we saw... The only thing we saw outdoor theater this year was Fabulosos.
Fabulosos Cadillac. They were a little early. That was so hot.
I don't know. Hey, that was disrespectful, Golden Voice. Like, I don't understand why they got a 2:00 set.
That's so
They're
hot.
legends. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like... They had just done Viva Latino in Mexico City. Yeah, they closed that night.
Old too. They need to be in the shade.
And all their fans are kind of old too. Yeah. So I was struggling.
To be honest, I watched on weekend one, and that's where I got burned out because we were dancing and stuff, and it was like 2 p.m. So like, by like 4, I was already sunburned, dehydrated, like the whole.
You gotta know your limits, dude.
I was already done.
I'm not trying to do everything.
So weekend 2, I didn't see them. Weekend 2, and I was like, I'm not even gonna be in the sun. It ruined my whole day, so I just stayed away from the sun. You know. Yeah. Yeah, it was tough.
So for DJ set like Despacio, do you know the history of Despacio?
I kind of saw a little bit, but to be honest, not really.
So Despacio was in 2016 at Coachella, and they were the first tent when you walked in, and nobody paid attention to it. Like, there was no sign. Maybe there was a little sign, and LCD Sound System they were headlining that year.
Yeah.
So LCD Sound System was headlining that year. But Despacio's tent is too many DJs and James Murphy from LCD Sound System. So it's not open all the time. The tent is just like certain hours.
Time hours, yeah.
But those DJs are in front of you the whole time. So it's crazy to go in that tent and it's not crazy packed. And then the musician that you love so much, right? James Murphy's right there playing, music. And then a couple hours later, he's on the main stage.
Headlining.
That shitload of people. Like that, to me, was so cool.
Yeah.
That year, whatever year that was.
It was a Sahara tent.
Sahara tent?
That's what he headlined.
No, he headlined the headliner.
Headlined the headliner. I don't remember.
Headlining the main stage.
Hey, hold on. Someone fact check us. Where are the kids at? Yeah, so going inside to like see James Murphy, and we're big fans. What's the movie? There's a movie that just came out. It's a documentary of like the whole New York City scene. Like never been to New York.
Yeah.
But that music at the turn of the century, like 2003 music, right? Like Interpol and LCD Sound System and TV on the radio, The Strokes, Yeahs. Like, we were fans of all those bands, and they were like Coachella darlings for so long.
Yeah. Do you see the Strokes in 2011?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were there.
I was front row for the Strokes and Kanye. I was there for 10 hours.
See, I can't do that. How do people? How? Like literally how?
I was 18.
But what do you do? How do you pee?
So it was me and a friend.
Man.
We were holding on to the fence,
and then
like we were like someone had to go to the restroom, so you would go.
So like they would make space.
No, you're holding it off. So like when he comes back, you just like, hey, my friend's over there, because it's hard to get in there when you don't have a friend there.
I've yelled at girls that try to squat in front of me. And I'm like,
and that 2011 was so
I
hot.
shamed them, kick them out.
So we were like looking at the schedule, and we're like, so Wiz Khalifa was at 3 p.m. and he was so huge in my senior year in high school. And it was Wiz Khalifa, Jack's Mannequin, Duran Duran, the Death from Above 1979.
We were fans of them.
And then the Strokes and Kanye, they were all on the main stage. So
saw that?
Me and my friend were like, hey, let's just stay here the whole time, because we were there for Wiz Khalifa. We stayed in the front for fucking 10 hours, bro. When we were done, my feet were killing me, bro. Like, and then a lot of people after the Strokes, like, we were like tossing people over to the security guards. Like, girls just wanted to get out because it was too hot. They're like, hey, could you help? And we were just tossing people over. Like, me and my friend were just tossing people over because people wanted to get out. And then we watched Kanye. But to be honest, like, the last 30 minutes of Kanye, I was too much in pain. Like, I was just hurting because we're just like dehydrated. So would you do it again? Tired. I would never be in the front again. No. Yeah. That's the only time I've ever been in the main stage.
Our daughter's friends, she was up in front for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
2 high schoolers. Because, this year they gave free bracelets.
To the seniors, yeah.
Golden Boys hooked it up with free bracelets if you were in good standing, la, la, la. And so many of my daughter's friends came up on money because they didn't go to Coachella, right? They just sold the tickets. Oops, sorry. No, they didn't. They were there, just kidding. Allegedly. But my daughter's friend went for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Que se desmayaron. Like they got so overheated, they got pulled out. So it's like, I don't know if that's worth it. Like, I wouldn't go to any festival for just one artist.
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah. And a lot of people do.
And then I remember looking back, like, we were holding onto the fence, and like people were pushing, and we were like literally holding on to your life. And you look back like 15 feet behind you, and people were just standing there like with room and like shit. I'm like, why am I even here? It's true. It was so stupid.
Well, that's how Bjork. I got there when Caliuchis was playing, right? Oh, that was a cute moment. He left on Sunday.
Yeah.
He was done after Café Taco, after Cadillacs.
I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back.
Should we stop it?
No, just keep it going.
Because we talked about peeing.
Tell the story.
Well, now he's leaving.
You guys entertain.
Aquí me quedé sola. What do I do? He's leaving.
Tell us.
I'm gonna read my books.
show some of the memorabilia.
All right, producer. I'm supposed to show memorabilia. I can't talk to myself. What do I show you? Dude, y'all had to take a pee break right now. I got teacher bladder.
No, but your scrapbook is so cool. That's probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
But, yeah, it's funny because he just didn't expect it to come back. And so, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this little thing. Booklets.
Oh, that's
Dude, we would leave the festival and there was boxes of booklets on the. I guess people were supposed to pass them out.
right.
And I would just grab a handful and take it out. But I guess they don't do them no more. Did you
Right.
see them?
No.
See? I miss this. Like, you would carry your little booklet until, like,
Right.
and you would circle it.
That's so awesome.
And I would put little stars, like, who was a great performer.
Wow. I
And
can't believe you saw Rage Against the Machine. You've seen so many.
so Rage Against the Machine, when they came back, I forget what year that was. Before Rage Against the Machine was Manu Chao. Do you know Manu Chao?
I heard of them.
So Manu Chao, Mano Negra. Manu Chao played right before Rage Against the Machine. And this was like when Brochella became a thing. You would just see dudes, like frat boys
Yeah.
everywhere. And you're like, ugh. So I just remember seeing a bunch of frat boy crowds. And they were all freaking out for Manu Chao. And they were turning around like, who is this guy? Because he played nonstop. Like, he just played all his songs, but it sounded like one long song.
Right.
I think it's on YouTube, dude. Like, it's a 40-minute set, and he plays, like, 20 songs. It's just amazing. And so he hyped everybody up for Rage, right? And that was actually one of the coolest shows, too. Are you a fan of Manu Chao?
To be honest, not really.
No? Well, see, when he comes back, he'll tell you about Manu Chao. Because that show was amazing. The second time we saw Rage, I don't know. I wasn't a slam dancer anymore. Is there questions? Am I live?
You're still alive. Yeah.
Are my kids on there?
You're not.
Damn
So,
children. Oh, shit.
Let me see. So you have all the did they give you a bracelet like back in Coachella 1999 in those years?
Sophie's watching one woman show. Huh?
Do they
Bracelets?
have? Did they give you guys bracelets like back in 1999 in all those years?
No, I don't think, no.
It was just
Nothing,
the
dude.
Ticketmaster ticket.
Yeah, sorry, it was just Ticketmaster. You'd go in. There was a messy year. 2010, I think, was the only year of all the years where I said, I'm not coming back to this. It was so freaking messy. It was like trash everywhere, tirado. And that year, I don't think they hired staff. I think they were trying to do an experiment to see if they can get volunteers. Because we volunteered at Stagecoach to get free Coachella tickets. So if you went to Stagecoach and volunteered, right, we worked, you would get free tickets to Coachella. So it's like sweat equity. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was some kind of volunteer program.
Yeah.
Dude, it was the biggest mistake they've done because, like, everybody that was working the entrance were just volunteers. So they were letting their friends in. It got too packed. It was trashy. There was a windstorm. I remember my friends were camping and they ended up going to my mom's house. They're like, we can't camp. Like, and we couldn't get out of the parking lot. So that's the only time I struggled to get out of that parking lot, and I hated it. I was so mad. But we still came back the next year. And I heard parking was a mess this year. We didn't have issues with parking because we parked at our friend's house. But,
Weekend 2 was really bad.
Yeah.
So weekend 2, for some reason, I don't know. I have a theory that they just oversold tickets. And actually, on Sunday, people posted on Reddit, they ran out of chips. So they were giving them Golden Voice blue wristbands that didn't have a chip on it. They were just letting them people in because they literally oversold bracelets.
So my friend that came from LA quedó traumada because she said she was stuck in traffic. And she was looking at people's faces that were just locals trying to get home. She's like, their faces don't go away from me because I would watch them for 3 hours just sitting there frustrated. And then she was texting me, but here I am like dancing and then writing her back. I'm like, girl, call the Indio Police whatever number, figure it out. But I guess when she was going to call, non-emergency number.
What was she trying to do?
Trying to get support. She said there was no traffic control, no staff. Nobody was telling them what to do. They were all just stuck there, both ways.
Yeah.
And she said then fine sheriffs came, and so sheriffs guided them. So they had already been waiting for 3 hours, and then they were told to go to the
Tennis Garden or the fairgrounds?
the fairgrounds. And so she said at the fairgrounds they just all got like little passes. Dude, I didn't know they were $125.
Shuttle?
The shuttle passes?
What?
Yes,
they had to pay for that?
No, they gave it to them. But then I looked it up. I'm like, dude, these were so expensive. But
I shuttle everything.
And you pay that much?
I don't want to deal with parking.
So this is the first year. So weekend one was whatever. So weekend one, Friday and Saturday, no problem.
Mhm.
Sunday it gets really packed. Sunday by like 12, it's packed on weekend one. Weekend two though, weekend two on Friday it feels like a Sunday. Like it takes you like 2 hours to get in. And then on Sunday, weekend two, I live here. I live 10 minutes from the
You
festival.
live so close.
It took
down
me
the street.
3.5 hours to get inside.
What the hell?
From 10 minutes, it was like we went to one parking lot. They're like, oh, it's full. The other one was full. They were sending us to the tennis garden.
Yeah.
But I had to meet some friends. So my friend was taking me. He came from LA. He was here at the house. He dropped me off on 50 in Madison. And I walked
You
in.
have to walk.
I walked in, but it literally took me from 2:30. No, I left like at 2:15. I didn't get to the festival till almost 6. And I'm like, what the hell? Like,
That's what I don't
had never
get.
seen it before, but it's because they oversold. So weekend one is like a marketing thing. Like, they got their influencers,
Yeah.
everyone's posting.
That's how we go
Weekend
weekend
two is like,
You should have your
anybody
shit
who
down.
wants to come, just fucking let them in. I think that's what they did this year. Because, like, every person that goes in, you know, they're buying merch, they're buying alcohol, they're buying drinks, they're
I
having
posted
food.
about that.
It's
I
crazy.
don't like how packed it is now.
It's
Like
so packed.
they can cut it in half. Like, I know they're not going to because I said so, but I am so surprised that the city allows so many people, you know, in a pandemic, like, or whatever. But, you know, like, even when the bus drivers got sick last year when they got food poisoning, and that's like 100, you know, bus drivers in your hospital. Like, what if a resident is sick? Like, that's messing everything up. I just think it's pretty dangerous to have so many people. Like, thank God nothing has happened. And I know that there's cops and people are undercover. There's snipers, you know, like, I've seen them. They're snipers.
There's snipers on top of the
They're
spectrum.
snipers.
Tyler. Yeah.
I'll show you.
You could see them on top of
Yeah.
it's called the spectrum.
Yeah.
The one that's like colorful. There's people on top.
There's snipers on top
cops.
of the Spectra. Even the Spectra, dude, like I was telling my friend, I said, careful with the Spectra. And she's like, why? I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's been in the sun for 5 years now, right? Like, when you walk it, you can hear it.
I haven't gone in the last 2 years. I haven't even walked it up.
To me, I'm like, oh my God, the patio furniture in my backyard cracks when you sit on it, you know? Like, this thing has been
They were
in
supposed
the
to.
sun.
It was 2020.
Are they reinforcing
2020 was the last year,
it?
but somehow it survived another 2 years because
I think it's cool.
it became such an iconic piece of
Yeah.
Coachella now. Like, it's when you think of Coachella, or like if you search Coachella on YouTube or Coachella on just anything, that spectrum shows
Yeah.
up because it's
Yeah.
so iconic. So
The carousel.
yeah, it's like now it's like the
No,
Ferris
Ferris
wheel. Like, you
wheel.
can't get rid of it.
No, I
You
want a
can't get rid of
carousel.
it. You know?
Like, back in the day, right? Like, the things you had to do was hold the balloons, right? Hold the balloons. Eat spicy pie.
Spicy pie, still fire. by the way.
I didn't see spicy pie anywhere this
They
year.
had it. They had it. Yeah.
I didn't get a slice. And then, what was the other one we liked? The crab fries.
Crab fries. They
Crab
haven't brought this
fries.
back.
That sucks because
That
they were
was
so
the-
good.
That was the most. Yeah, that was my favorite one.
That would feed you for
Hell
like,
yeah.
that was fuel for the day.
They bring those back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, I haven't gone. I've only gone since 2009, but like I just have the best time, and it's like local, and then
Yeah.
on by accident I started making content, and then now I'm like, making
Dude,
content.
we don't, like, that's amazing you're doing that. Because, I mean, you're finding us, right? You're finding all the locals that go to the festival, but I don't know how many of us there is. I don't know.
I don't
right?
know. I run into a lot of locals weekend
I
too.
don't.
Weekend two is the local
I
weekend.
think we all came out on the article.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Shout
was
out-
it.
Follow us.
We all did. That was cute.
Yeah. Shout out to that.
Yeah,
See
shout
my
out to
Ileana?
Ileana.
I haven't met you yet, girl. I'll meet you soon.
She's super cool. I had a
Yeah.
podcast with her. I haven't dropped it.
Will she
so.
be at your party?
I invited her and the photographer Andy. Hopefully they show up. But yeah,
Okay.
shout out to Liana. Shout out to Andy.
Mucho gusto.
Like-
She's Michoacan. I was texting her.
Yeah, she's super cool.
I'm like, oh my God, are we all cousins?
We were out here, and then Tawa was here.
Oh, cool.
So actually, I wasn't even home. Tawa, like I had gone. I went to get coffee,
Mhm.
but it was Stagecoach weekend.
Yeah.
And we had a podcast on Sunday. Last Sunday, actually, was it last Sunday? Yeah, it was last Sunday. Damn.
It goes, I don't know. It's a
Times are so
blur.
crazy. Yeah. It took me 40 minutes to get coffee because it was so full because all the Stagecoach people. And by the time we came back, She showed up at 12. I got here like at 12:20. And then Tavo and my dad were here, and they were like talking to her and stuff. And so when we came in, it was
cute.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's super cool. She's an East Valley reporter. So
Yeah, good. She's finding us.
she already featured us twice in the newspaper, so shout out to her.
So,
Dude, so we got an extra ticket this year, and I'm like, oh my God, Golden Voice is finally recognizing their loyal fans. And we were like, what do we do with this ticket? Had his name. It was just a free extra ticket, and we gave it to my brother. But then we get to Coachella, and then and then he got red light. Like, no. So he had to deal with figuring out whose ticket this was. So it was an ordeal for him for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And to me, it's like, why put that burden on us? Like, I think there's a California law. Whatever comes to your house and has your name on it, it's a gift, right? So I'm like, okay, it's a gift. But no, it was some mishap where it belonged to some kid named Tyler or some shit. He had to go to the tennis gardens. My brother was excited to get a free ticket. Pobrecito. And we're like, sorry, Jimmy, take that bracelet off. It's not for you. And so it took him 3 hours to get into Coachella.
Damn.
So I'm like, damn, it's messed up. So, no, we don't get nothing
How
for free.
were you guys excited for 2020 when Rage Against the Machine was on the lineup?
Oh,
before
yeah.
COVID?
Yeah, big
Everybody in our little crew that used
Fuck
to
yeah,
come to
dude.
Coachella, they were ready. They were like, can we stay at our place?
oh, dude, I was stretching, getting ready.
Physical
for the
therapy
pit.
was
I
going.
started-
Yeah, they were ready to go in the pit. Like,
Yeah.
pobrecito, what happened to Zach? But it's like,
Yeah,
really,
he's-
literally, that's our age group.
He's-
Like, all of us would have been
Hey,
fucked
what
up.
happened? He threw his back out or some shit?
No, he crushed
Or
his
his ankle.
ankle
Oh,
when he
yeah,
jumped
his
off a
ankle.
speaker.
Yeah.
Maya
Yeah, so he
Mashika.
said he's taking 2023 off, which means he's coming to Coachella 2024.
Hope so.
It's
Election year.
It's election year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were overdoing 2020, so now
Yeah.
it's like the last two Coachellas, 2022 and 2023, they have done a lot of the artists that were in the 2020 lineup.
Yeah.
So they accept the
That
Rage
return to
Against.
the
Yeah,
desert.
so
Mhm.
I was
Um,
hoping Cure, just because.
yeah,
That was
that's
another top. What number am I at?
4.
Top 4 right there. Top 5.
Cure?
The Cure. When they
2004?
pulled the plug and Robert Smith kept singing. Oh my God! Like,
Was that
freaking
2004?
wonderful.
2004?
I don't know, dude. I keep
Whatever
forgetting.
year it was.
No sabemos.
Yeah, they kept on singing somehow. And
Yeah.
somehow we can still hear them.
It was so good. It
was crazy.
We got because we were right there. We were
Yeah.
like literally right there.
You guys were in the front?
Have you been there at the very end of Coachella when they turn on the huge lights?
Yeah.
Like those huge lights were on, and
Yeah.
those fools were still fucking playing.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that's how like it's so different now. But we would leave. We would be the last ones to leave, and everybody's kicking you out. Like like
Security guards
yeah.
are like, yeah.
gotta go, gotta
But
go.
once the lights were on, dude, you can see, man. There's
Yeah.
fucking cash.
Yeah,
There's
they would find
all
phones.
kinds of shit on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'd find all
fucking
kinds of stuff.
souvenirs, man.
Sunglasses.
Yeah.
You've come up on so many
Shades,
sunglasses.
fucking-
But you know what's cool about Coachella, and I'm sure they still have it. I don't think they promote it as much, but they have a lost and found page.
Yeah.
And you see everybody's chingaderas that they lost. He's lost his wallet
Mhm.
at good Lord, who were they? Atlanta. The performance that kind of sucked. I don't wanna
Migos.
say it. No.
Migos.
It wasn't an Outcast, but I know I lost my
Outkast.
wallet, but I wasn't there.
Okay, so we realized at Outcast that your wallet was missing.
Mm.
And so we're like, fuck, how? We're not going to find his wallet. The next day we go to Lost and Found, his wallet was right there. I'm like,
That's so
oh,
cool.
good people.
Coachella's good people.
Yeah.
Even though Frida got her phone stolen
Stolen?
during Calvin Harris.
No.
Or right before Calvin Harris on Saturday. Because she was by herself. Like, we all split up. And
Yeah.
then she said, like, some girl came up to her and just kind of hugged her, like, in the middle of the crowd. And then she's like, what the hell? And then she checked her phone. And then when she went like this, her phone was missing. And then, like, there was another girl next to her, like, hey, my phone's missing too. Like, in that same area, some girl just stole people's
That's
phones.
crazy because my mom was just like, cuidado con los teléfonos.
Yeah.
Yo vi en el reportaje. Like, she knew that phones were going to get stolen.
It was probably another local.
Damn.
Another
That's messed
local.
up. He's from LA, guys.
Well, last year
know.
they arrested somebody with 250 phones.
That's a thing.
Someone just they buy bracelets just to go steal phones.
That's
like
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Go get a job.
That is their
No.
job.
That is their job, I
Yeah,
guess.
hustle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frida got her phone stolen.
Pobrecita.
But yeah, shit. It was just I think it was Saturday. Yeah, it was right before. So I think they targeted because she was by herself. So they're like, oh, this young girl, they
Yeah.
just go in and steal the phone.
That's why my kids couldn't split apart. I told them
And
you
that-
can't
yeah.
split apart. We were like, you cannot. And there was a point on Sunday, you were about to leave, but Sophie found her friends from school.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like field trip mom. Like, literally, I had like 7 high schoolers right behind me. I'm like, we're going to Despacio, guys. And I had the little bolita of kids. I'm like, oh my God, I'm field trip mom. And that's what we said. Like, if we go back to Coachella, we would like to be in that information booth. That was like like, give us that job. We would be great at it. We're like Coachella parents now. And people come up to me, like, they would ask him he has a look, right? So they're like, you got papers? And like, they would always ask him for drugs and papers. No, man, I don't got that shit. And me llegaban a mí, they're like, do you have Band-Aids? Do you have a chongo? Like, they would ask me, like, yes, mija. Like, this year, I helped out this cute little couple, like, a brother and a sister from Oceanside. My kids went to the bathroom, and this girl came up to me. I was drinking a coconut. She's like, where'd you get the coconut from? And I'm like, oh, you buy it right here. And she was young. You know, it was her first Coachella. She was there for Frank Ocean. Yeah. So she was completely bummed. She's like, I can't believe I'm not going to see him. And I'm like, it's okay, mija. Like, come for the experience. You know, you're going to love it here. I'm a local. And then I told her, you know, I come every year. And her big brother comes. Oh, my God, you come every year. Me estaba sacando fotos. So I don't know. People from Oceanside, what's up? But they were the cutest, like, brother and sister. And then my kids came and se saludaron. And my kids are like, who are they? I'm like, I don't know, baby. Like, they're just people. Like, everybody's just so nice. Everybody's like, Happy Coachella. It's like, when do you say Happy Coachella in Coachella? Like, we don't tell each other Happy Coachella.
So some fool on 52. At the fucking fast strip on 52.
At the Pollo Dieta, Happy Coachella. We don't do that.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
So it's just...
Start saying it.
I gotta start saying it.
Yeah,
no,
shit. Nomás una vez al año. That's it.
Happy Coachella, fool.
Happy Coachella, bro. Yeah, it's a trip. It's fun. It's so crazy that just happens.
It's like a hit of dopamine that you like. There's a
it's
little
inspiration.
high you
I get inspired every year. Yeah, like it's just like the weeks after, just like oh, it's so cool. Like,
I think that's why last year was a little tough for me. I didn't go to Coachella. I didn't get that hit of like adrenaline because you live off of that. I vibe off of that too. Like and I'm an anxious person. I don't like being in crowds, but for some reason, I don't know why. At Coachella, I feel like at home. Yeah. I don't feel like I do at Disneyland. We just went to Universal, and I'm like, God, it was torture for me, dude. Like, I can't handle amusement parks and gentada. But I'm at Coachella, I'm like, no, I feel like you're in my house. like,
well, you know everything now. It's just...
Not even, though. It was hard to, like, kind of recalibrate our nap spots. Because outdoor theater used to be our nap spot. There's nothing there to kick it no more. It's like...
We were on the right side against, like, the palm trees.
That's usually our old spot, but there wasn't enough bands for us to go there and check it out.
I don't know, yeah. It was different.
I think it was just Cadillacs. I think that was the only thing we saw.
So I hung out. Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm. I hung out in Despacio. I danced in Despacio. And then I would go into Sonora, and there was like...
So mostly indoor shit to stay cool.
Yeah, totally. I don't know why the heat hurt so much this year. Like, it was...
Because it hasn't been hot. Like, it's been all...
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that heat. But we were right in front of ADA at Main Stage. When we would go to Main Stage, we'd all walk to the right side. So the ADA had like a screen, so that people were in the ADA ramp, and you needed to see the lyrics. Right, the lyrics were there. Yeah. So that's where our spot was for Bad Bunny. And for him, he's like, oh, now I know what Bad Bunny is singing because I salen las palabras, right?
Yeah. Even with the lyrics there, you still don't understand what the fuck he's saying, right?
Oh, para él, he's a mumble rapper.
It's not even real words.
Like, it is.
So that's what he's supposed to be saying? Like, still didn't make any fucking sense.
But I have a picture because it was hilarious. It said, me gusta la chocha de Puerto Rico. And it says it over and over. And it's just right there.
Puerto Rico.
That shit was funny because the whole screen said it over and over and over. I'm like, that's funny. So I'm like taking a picture.
That song is fire.
When the apagón happened.
Puerto Rico está apagón.
And all the lights went down, and you just see the lights of the artwork. That was amazing. That was cool.
Was that same song?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
Puerto
amazing.
Rico. Me gusta la chocha de Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico está cabrón.
And seeing our kids like dancing and singing to them, like, all right, guys. Now we're all Puerto Rican.
Bad Bunny put in a great show. That was my favorite performance of the week.
And I would never buy a ticket to Bad Bunny.
Me neither. Yeah. So tickets for Bad Bunny concerts were like $300, $400.
People were paying thousands.
Yeah, so then you pay $400 for a Coachella ticket, you get to see them. You know, well the same as Blackpink. Blackpink was doing like a stadium tour. They're doing like 5 or 6 U.S. like stadiums. Yeah. Their tickets are probably like $400.
There was a band that kind of played around Blackpink when the Blackpink played the first time. It was a J-pop band, and we saw them in the Mojave tent, and they had like these boards, and like their choreography was like militant. That was a great performance. So I get how people like love the performance of
Yeah.
things, even though the music isn't there for this J-pop, K-pop scene, right? But like that one was cool. I don't even know what that band was. Do you remember seeing that? Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
I should write it down.
Feel like, was that 2019, 2022?
Well, see, these bands that came up this year, right? They've all Rosalia was already here, right?
When did she play?
The same year Bad Bunny was here.
2019?
Yeah.
Rosalia was here
Yes.
2019? No way.
We saw her. Yeah.
What?
So-
What stage?
Mojave, because
Small.
you were
Yeah,
up in
10.
That's
the.
crazy. I
Ten.
didn't even know she was
Yeah.
here 2019. That's
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, "What's this flamenco shit?" And I'm like, "Just listen to it, right?" But she didn't. That's why I feel like I saw the evolution of seeing her there, and seeing like estaba tímida. She wasn't the motomami. She was like calmada. She felt nervous. You can feel like she was nerviosa.
That's crazy. I gotta see that.
Yeah, you can look it up. So Motomami had already been there. Boom, now she's like, and then Bad Bunny had already been there.
Yeah.
Blackpink had already been there.
2019.
So I feel like,
it was a lot of 2019 artists.
yeah, back again, so quick.
So-
Like Billie
so
Eilish,
fast.
1 year.
I know. That's so crazy.
Before you would jump stages and then end up.
It would
being-
take like 3 to 5 years before
Yeah,
they come
Arcade
back.
Fire.
Now it's like
Yeah.
2 years later, your headliners.
Yeah, it's like a
okay.
carnival prize. You know, you have to build it up.
Kind of, yeah.
So what else is in your
My box?
incredible box of
Dude, okay,
Campo? Or is it? Campo.
this is what I miss about Coachella from what I noticed. Golden Voice was good on doing like little bios, and they would go around the world and show you the band and be like, okay, this is the band that's playing, interview them, and then in between sets there would be like artist interviews. So there was nothing like that this year. Like you would go to Coachella.com and see a bunch of interviews that were already there, and it's not like that no more. So I don't know if they're gonna get rid of that. And then Camp was a magazine that they did. I don't know. Do you see this anywhere now?
To be honest, I don't know.
Dude, it's like everything Coachella, and they don't do this anymore. And this was only for people that camped. So I would get these for my friends that camp, or I would go to the information booth and ask them for it, right? So they would have them. So this, to me, was the coolest recuerdo, and I don't think they have them no more. I don't know how many issues
And that
they
features
did.
a lot of the artists playing that year?
Yeah, all the artists, interviews with people, and they just, I guess I get it. People don't want to waste.
It's most digital now, or
Yeah,
people go watch
but
interviews
still,
on YouTube and stuff.
Dude, I'm old school. Sonic Youth.
That's
So
cool.
we're coming from the land of like, he did a zine, I did radio. We would leave Coachella and I would go on MySpace and blog it. I would go to Coachella with a little notepad and a pen. I wasn't a fucking press, but I would write down, okay, this song. Now they play this song, like
Yeah.
that's to me was my thing. And then I would go home, go to MySpace and start typing my little blog, right?
Is that still up? Do you still
On
have a MySpace?
No, I think I have it in a zip drive because MySpace is gone.
Do you still access your account?
No, the blogs have been gone.
Oh, they're
Yeah, they're
removed?
gone. But yeah, they're somewhere. I'll find them.
That's cool.
They live on.
Yeah, that's somewhere in the internet. Or something.
So I miss that. I miss that a lot. So all these little booklets. He's been there 2 years and he doesn't remember seeing any of these.
Yeah, I remember they used to give this out. So, do you know how the lineup you put on your phone before you actually had to get the
The
lineup on the booklet?
co-chooser. Oh no, this is funny though. Hold up. Before they had these, they would have a like Reddit style, but there was a message board on Coachella.com. It was just called message board. What was it called?
Just the message board.
The message board. So you would go on the message board, and then it just had, like Reddit style, that had topics, and you write questions
Yeah.
and answers, and people. There was an active community of like hardcore nerds talking about the bands that are coming. Same thing, predictions. I'm telling you, there was a contest, Papa. We gotta find that. I bet you it's on Chooser.com. There was a contest at Psychic Friend, who was in charge of like moderating all the platicas on the board. And they put a contest and said, okay, pick an era of whatever year and make a Coachella poster for it. We're going to pick our top 5 and you get free VIP for life. So we went to 1993 Coachella. So we envisioned a 1993, like set list. You made the whole graphics.
Mm-hmm.
And so we posted that up there. We didn't win. I feel like the winner was like the same 5 guy. Like some dude dedicated like time to making a shitload of posters, and he won the top 5. So everybody was getting mad at him. Like, why did he win all of them? You know?
Oh wow.
So he won all of them. So I know that there used to be like this community on that. But I don't even know when it died. But they would send you like happy birthday from your friends at Coachella. You know, like they would link your email.
Yeah.
It was cute. So there was like this fandom. But remember when I posted that one time? Because I was already a mom with young kids. And I posted, I'm like, does anybody need a babysitter? I know how it is to like miss Daft Punk. You know, do you need me to watch your kids? I'm a local. And they fucking talking shit. Remember there was a gif of Michael Jackson holding blanket over the... They're like, we're not going to let anybody watch our kids. Is this going to... Like, it was just funny. Like, it was fun to, like, get in there, the chat, you know. And
so, actually, I have a question to ask you. You came out in the 2006 documentary by Drew Thomas. They interviewed you?
No, we were in Hugh Hauser's California Gold.
Oh, okay.
Nah, dude, we weren't like that.
But you had an interview because you were pregnant at the time, right?
Yep.
And then your kid got to go this year for the first time?
Yes.
It wasn't their first time because they were.
Oh, they were babies.
They would go and it was
Free.
It was free for under I think 3.
Under 5.
Under 5 or something. So that's when they stopped going once it became like 5 or 6.
But it was like super easy to get in and out of Coachella back then.
Yeah, so I had a friend, he's one of the subscribers on YouTube. He's from LA. He has a picture of him and his son in Coachella 2005. He's like a little baby. And then this year he's 18 and he's like at Coachella like on his own. Like
it's the same thing
so he has a picture like as a kid and now like an 18-year-old.
Dude, I try to do those things with the kids, like pose. Like, I'm lucky there's even one picture of us, all 4 at Coachella. They don't want pictures. They're like, meh.
That's so iconic.
Right, kids? Look, I used to print LA Weekly articles. Like,
Coachella 2004.
Coachella 2004. Instead of going picking it up for free.
That's so cool.
It's just so silly, like nerdy.
That's
like,
awesome. That's history.
There was one year, I remember I was teaching already in Coachella, in the city of, and he hit me up and he sent me a text. He's like, Coachella sold out. And I'm like, what the hell? We didn't have tickets. He's like, they're only selling them in Pomona. We have to go to the Glass House. So me and my brother jumped into the car after school. We drove to Pomona, and then he and his sister jumped in their car from LA, 20 minutes away, and we met in Pomona to buy tickets. It was 2004 Coachella. Like, we felt so spoiled always having tickets, and then finally they started selling out. So we couldn't believe that year they sold out. They only had like 50 tickets left in Pomona, so we had to drive. Oh my God. So there's things like that. It's like you think it's not going to happen. I don't know.
What's your worst Coachella experience?
2010, dude. That was messy.
Oh, that you said with the trash.
Remember the volunteers when we had to go? We went to Stagecoach to help, well, whatever volunteer work. And then we would get free Coachella tickets. And that was just a messy year. I just remember being dirty and dusty and trash everywhere. Do you remember that? We've never been to Coachella.
Was that the year of the Wu-Tang?
Shit, no, that was another year.
No, Wu-Tang came in 2013.
I just associated with the dust. It was really windy.
Yeah, it was the year that Pharrell lost his voice singing in the outdoor theater.
Yeah, crazy that year.
That year was, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers were also playing in the dust. It was just like a dust bowl. I remember.
Crazy ass weekend.
Yeah.
You made.
But I don't remember the like the worst show ever. Is that what you asked?
Just like your worst experience.
Worst experience?
Yeah.
I think sitting through
Bad Bunny said this.
No, it wasn't that. No, it's exciting because it's like it's cool. You know, it's new shit. But like seeing some of the old school bands that like, not to talk shit, but I just don't like AC/DC, and I knocked out during AC/DC.
Oh my God, he fell asleep.
And people think they're like, you know, they're like legendary, and I get it, but I was just like, I had to take a seat.
Yeah,
dude.
Two little horns out there.
Chilling,
yeah,
dude.
and he fell asleep in a
A
spot.
bunch of bands that I've fallen asleep to. I don't even want to name them.
But he
a
fell
lot of legendary
asleep.
bands.
You know how people like se tiran wherever.
Yeah.
Right. So we always try to be mindful of that.
At least to the edge or somewhere. Yeah.
I
But
don't
he
wanna get
knocked out
stepped
where
on.
it was nobody was around him at that time.
Yeah.
But then AC/DC came, and then the rush of people, and then so I had to like kind of stand in a way where like,
People
hey,
don't
there's
step on
somebody
him.
here. It was annoying.
Yeah,
It
when
was
I
hard
woke
to get
up,
him
I was like, what? The
Yeah.
hell? Like
Yeah.
Just surrounded by people with
Surrounded.
light up red horns.
Crazy.
Fuck, I'm in hell
Crazy.
already.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
I mean, I like heavy shit, but that's like
Yeah,
it's too pop. I don't know,
ACDC
it's too
is
pop.
cool, but it's also very repetitive. Every song sounds the same.
It just
Yeah.
seems like
I love ACDC, but it's just like the same song, like the
It
same
was
cadence.
cool to hear that.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da, like that one.
Are you guys gonna go to Power Trip? Power Trip?
I don't think so. Unless I
No,
work
I don't
it.
think so.
It was fun to work Desert Trip. You get paid $1,000 just to tell people where to sit.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I don't think you'd work it.
I want to go to Power Trip just for Iron Maiden. I've always wanted to see Iron Maiden live.
Yeah.
I went to the Big Four. Do you guys go to the Big Four?
No, I wanted to go because I had to stay home with the kids because she went to see
Julio
Paquita.
Iglesias.
Oh,
No, Julio Iglesias
with
with
her
my mom.
mama, dude. So I had to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kids
Yeah,
were
and
tiny.
that's more his thing, wasn't it? Slayer.
It was $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, $99.
Yeah, Megadeth, Slayer.
Slayer, Megadeth,
Yeah.
Metallica.
that would be
Anthrax.
his thing. And sorry.
That was the year they tested if they could do back-to-back Coachellas.
Yeah, that was the first one.
So it's 2011, and then the week after was Big Four, and then
Yeah.
Stagecoach. And then they're like, oh, we could do 3 festivals.
Yeah, what's better than one Coachella? 2 Coachellas.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, dude, just make one or 2.
It's
But cut the
crazy.
people.
It's
It's
getting-
too many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what the future. Is there an artist that you guys want to? What artist would you like to see come back to Coachella?
I would love to see
Returning to the desert.
Returning to the desert. Rage. TV on the radio, even though they're not big no more, but I like that band still.
You'd be the only one watching them.
I don't care.
No one knows them.
I'll be there. Who else? Who I want to see though, like I can't believe they haven't played, but to see the reunion of Talking Heads, like I can't believe they haven't been there. And David Byrne has been there, I think twice now. I think David Byrne gave his own, and then St. Vincent came out, and I think David Byrne came out. I'm not sure. But I would love to see Talking Heads reunion. I would love to see Pearl Jam there. I would love to see Manu Chao come back. That's a show that you remember. You remember.
Who would you like to see?
To come back?
Yeah,
I don't think I have a list of people to come back. I
or
think-
just somebody you've like, man, I wish they would just come once.
I mean, if they came back like a long time ago, like she said, maybe Pearl Jam, but not like now. I think I would have liked to have seen them before. I think now I don't have any bands that I want to see anymore. I think a lot of the bands that I would want to see wouldn't be here anymore. The festival has changed so much that they wouldn't play
Like
here.
who?
They wouldn't fit in. Like a Pearl Jam, they wouldn't fit in anymore.
I think they would now. I think it's just so
I think where
because
they,
it's so global now. It's like
To
But
it
who are they
matters.
gonna-
It's on the live stream. Like
but where are they gonna be? The main stage, and
Yeah.
after
and the
Bad Bunny,
Sonora.
there would be like 9
before Bad
PM.
Bunny, and so Bad
Right
Bunny fans
before-
are gonna be waiting during Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be cool.
Yeah, it will.
It won't be. I mean, you're cool. You like that shit.
some people.
but-
Yeah,
A lot of people are not gonna dig that. You know, it's gonna be like a.
Well, honestly, I was surprised that Blink-182 had a huge crowd.
I wasn't surprised at all.
But
they were
I
so
don't
big. They're such iconic bands.
No sé
Huge.
nada de ellos.
Like if,
Honestly, I
like
don't.
if there was like a Green Day.
And
Green Day.
that'll be next, right? Green,
Green
Day
Day
will
has
be
never
next.
came.
Yeah.
Or what do they do? Like some kind of Linkin Park.
It
Even
could
though
be those bands.
It's
now.
weird.
Thank you.
That's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be
'Cause-
bands like that.
Linkin Park would be fucking sick. I know it's they
You see?
had a Chester
You
passed
see?
away.
Mm-hmm.
Chester passed away, but Linkin Park would fucking be headliner type shit.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Green
what
Day
I
would be
feel.
awesome. I would love Green Day, bro. Green Day. would be
Green
sick.
Day, Yeahs.
Oh yeah.
They have their the Fever to Tell.
Their 20-year anniversary of
Yes.
American Idiots next year. 20
See, I think
years.
it's gonna be those bands that have like.
You know who just went on tour
anniversaries.
this year? 50 Cent. He's doing the 20-year of
He's been there.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah,
He was there already
When?
with the whole. Wasn't he
Tupac
With
with the
Q.
Tupac.
Tupac?
Mm-hmm.
But he was
Yeah.
just
I
a
think so.
guest
Yeah.
for 2 songs.
Yeah, he was just
He
a
did like
guest.
3 songs.
there? Yeah.
But now it like he just started his tour and it ends in like November, December.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, like get the tour and then get him for next year, just like
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 20 years of Getting Rich Die Trying. It's actually 2003 or 2004. Whatever it was.
Mhm. Yeah.
That would be cool. I would like to see 50 Cent.
Because you're a fan.
I'm not even a fan of him now, but it's like I'm
Yeah.
a fan of him growing up and I respect him. But like, you know, everyone knows like those fucking 21 Questions and all shit
Yeah.
in the club.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That'd be cool.
Kraftwerk again. That'd be cool.
There's only one original member. I'm good.
Oh my god.
See, I'm a nerd like that. I'm a nerd like that.
So like, Remember
What's
the
your
year?
favorite artist of all time?
Oh, fuck.
Or top three? The three artists that you're like, not any order, just three artists that you always...
I don't know. There's way too many, obviously. I think there's like, you have to pick a genre too. But I like the Beasties. I like Eric B. and Rakim. I like Public Enemy. I like the Beatles. I like
Los
Sonic
Planetas.
Youth.
You wouldn't be happy seeing Los Planetas at Coachella?
Sure, but they won't be there. But I'll be happy to
Los
see them.
Planetas?
I'll be happy to see them, but you don't even have to talk about them because they'll never be here.
But you don't know that. Los Planetas
They
played
wouldn't be
Sonora.
there. They'll never be there.
So we saw Los Planetas. We went to Vive Latino, which has been in sync with Coachella. They started in 99 also. They've had the same
Have you been to that?
trayectoria. Dude, you would love it.
You should
You
go
would
to that.
love
Viva
it.
Latino? Where's
Yeah.
that?
In Mexico City.
Definitely.
Imagine
It's Coachella in Mexico.
it's... Okay, if it was closer to us, I'd be there every year too.
Yeah, you should.
Because
go.
we've done festivals. We went to like FYF, right? And FYF was bought by Golden Voice or whatever, taken over by them. And we went to the first one because our friends were playing, like on Sunset at the Echo or whatever. And it was a small thing, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Stands for Fuck Yeah Fest, right? Like, but FYF became the thing. We went to that one to see Tribe Called Quest. It was full of people, same as like a Coachella crowd, but you're surrounded by the Coliseums right here, the Natural History Museums here, the California Science Center. Like, so the buildings are like, they feel like they're, coming in at you. I didn't feel comfortable at all. Oh my God. So one and done. I was done with that one. We've done that one, Viva Latino. I would go back all the time if that was closer, because it's the same thing. It's a music fest. We saw Arcade Fire there. Like, the fans there are just the next level. Like, every single person screaming and singing, right? And we saw back-to-back our favorite bands. I saw Hello Seahorse, and then became Los Planetas, small stage, right? So that was fun. But we've done the ones in the Rose Bowl, around the Rose Bowl. They had Arroyo Seco, where I got to see Tom Petty. Like, I would have loved to see Tom Petty at Coachella. Rest in peace. But we got to see him at Arroyo Seco. The other one that, the one that's coming up next week, what's it called? Just Like Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
We went to that one last year. That was fun.
I went to that one in 2019.
Yeah. So, like, but still, we'll go once to see it.
Just check something out.
Yeah, but I still go to Coachella only because it's here. Like, if Coachella was in Oxnard and it was the Oxnard Music Festival, I wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Yeah, that's why I always go to... It's like, it's already in town.
Yeah.
I have all year to save up for it. I don't have to pay for travel or stay. And I try to convince locals, like, it's worth... It's so...
I don't
such
convince.
A great
we don't need more people. No, I'm just kidding.
I
But
think
no.
locals should go because they may have a hookup to get in anyway.
Yeah, like...
Just ask.
I know so many locals who like...
Yeah.
Oh, it's not for me. Like, oh, maybe I only know 2 artists. So I'm like... You just have to be
Yeah.
there. And even if you don't know one artist, like, if
Yeah.
you're just there...
You know somebody that works there to hook you up too to get in.
It's just so cool. Like,
But that's the thing, like, I don't...
some people are not for it.
They're not, like, if you don't go to festivals or you don't go to concerts or you're not outside, like, it's not going to be for you.
Of course, yeah.
We had cousins that came and they don't go to shows. But my brother insisted, like, you have to go to Coachella. Everybody should go. They went one day and they were done. They hated it. The sun, too many people.
Yeah.
They're not used to that. They don't even go to shows. So I don't want to be responsible for
other
anybody's
people,
like,
yeah.
well, fuck this shit. Like, no, I don't encourage it. Like, you gotta, like, already, te tiene que salir de ti. Like, if you want to go,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be easy. Like, I think you have to watch the documentaries to kind of get, like, a sense of it, I think. Like, maybe you
gotta
don't
watch-
necessarily do.
Gotta watch my YouTube channel.
Watch your videos.
Go to Coachella Angel.
Watch his videos, right?
Watch his videos. Watch what's already on YouTube.
No, it's so
Yeah.
it's fun. It's for everybody, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So what else do you have in your box?
Ah, shit. Okay.
What else do you have in your box?
Lineups that we would literally, like, type out before. I don't know why.
You have a type of
2004.
artist you wanted to see?
Yeah.
Let me
And then,
see.
I don't know.
That's so sick.
I have all the little booklets, dude. Like,
Radiohead, Pixies, MF Doom,
before the MF
The
Doom. That was
Rapture.
fun.
The
Rapture.
Cure, Flaming Lips.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Flaming Lips in that bubble.
Elephant.
Oh my God. Okay, so that band, Elephant, a small band.
LCD cells.
Morrissey toured them. They were from New York. When we were dating in 2003, they have an album. What was it called? It was a blue album. We had that album on repeat. The lead singer, Argentino, Diego Rivera. Diego Garcia. We went to go see this band in San Luis Obispo, and they had a small crowd. It was me, Carlos, and maybe like 5 other people. And we told him, we'll see you at Coachella, man. And he's like, yeah, you think so? And we're like, yeah, we'll see you there. And then we saw him in LA play. And same thing. He came up to us because he remembered we were right in front of him singing. And he saw us in some venue in LA. Nos saludó bien. And he's like, you think I'm going to be at Coachella? We're like, we'll see you there, dude. And then there we go, 2004. He plays at Coachella. And he finds Carlos in the crowd. Like, it was so cool. Like, he came up to him, you know? It's like, no, he's the star, right? He's like, dude, you told me that I was going to be at Coachella, and here I am. We're like,
That's so
how cute.
cool.
You know what? So moments like that, ya no existen, right? But, like, to see bands, like, to see MIA play for the first time, and she ran out of music. She's like, I don't have no more songs, guys. Like, she just done. And Erase Rada, that band, for, like, you see some bands that were coming up in that time, and then they play Coachella, and then they just fall apart. Like, the stress of it was too much for them.
Mm-hmm.
That band forgot an instrument, and they even said, guys, this is the part of the song where we usually play the, what was it, the trumpet.
It was like a trumpet.
And they forgot it, and so they were just
Damn.
like, it was cool to see bands that we were into get their Coachella moment, you know. And it sucks that bands that, you know, the leaders passed away. We can't see them no more in our backyard. But it would have been nice to see a lot of people. To see De La Soul get their moment, like that would have been. I don't know why we never got De La Soul. Did we? No, huh?
The Heineken tent.
Damn, Heineken tent. Fucking Heineken tent. You can't even get in there.
I was trying to
And
go
then
for
it's just-
Redman.
See?
The line was so
That's crazy,
huge.
huh?
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even bother.
So when Wu-Tang kind of reunited for Coachella one year, the
2013,
wind was so bad, I went home.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll pick you guys up later. But
Yeah, I stayed home.
that was
I stayed there. Yeah.
so insane, that wind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was dope.
That was a bad year.
The dope ass-
So the year 2020 when it canceled, I remember the weekend of weekend 1, it was pouring rain, and I remember Paul Tele came out in an interview like later in November 2021, like a year later. He was saying like it sucked that everything got canceled, but he's like, we were kind of thankful that
imagine.
it fucking rained, because it was like literally like rain, like it had never rained like that ever in
In
April.
April.
What year
Yeah.
was that?
2020.
On
Yeah.
what, April or October?
The day Coachella was April 10.
April?
April 10, 2020. It was
rained?
like pouring rain.
When
and
did
was,
it rain in India,
We,
dude?
we were all locked in, so
And
no one
there was no
got wet.
Coachella
was
that
it?
year. So
Yeah.
they were like, that they were kind of thankful, like, oh man, thank God, like I guess it didn't happen. It would have been a disaster, just
Okay.
mud. And,
Yeah, because if I were to plan Coachella, it wouldn't be in April no more. I think November gets the best weather ever. Like
November?
November is so beautiful. But I guess they have to be
The
mindful of the
permits.
polo schedule, right? Because it's still
Well, they have five. They have 5 festivals. They have permits for 5 festivals.
So what are they gonna give us?
So I heard, depending on Desert Trip, they want to make it 2 weekends. But like, I don't think this year. I think
Yeah,
in
doesn't
the
look like
future.
it.
The other one was Desert Trip was 2 weekends.
Yeah. So they have
Yeah.
that
Because
permits
it
to
sold
do.
out quick.
That's
why.
true. Power
But
Trip
these
did it.
tickets are too expensive. 1,500 for pit for standing, like fuck, and 600 for what you can't even see, like way in the back,
Mhm.
like. So yeah, it's way too expensive.
You gotta find the hookup.
Didn't paying that's paying paying for the ticket makes it hurts, right? It hurts, but if you buy it at layaway, it doesn't hurt that much.
True.
And that's probably gonna go out like in 2 weeks, right?
I think they're about
It'll
to
open it up. Be like,
yeah.
yo, it's coming up. So
I usually buy my Coachella passes on layaway.
yeah, we
just
do
in
layaway
case.
every year.
Just
We
to
buy
make
2
Yeah, me too.
just to secure.
Yeah,
and then-
just in case, you know.
Yeah.
This year I ended up getting hooked up with some.
Dude, we used to walk in with tickets in our pockets. No one local wanted them. I'd be like, there's a concert. So in that little interview where you see, where I posted, like, that's a PBS guy, right? Public Broadcasting. That guy, Hugh Hauser, he does a whole series where he goes around the state and interviews people and goes to different tourist places. And that's his thing. That was his thing. Yeah, murió Hugh Hauser. But when we were dating, we would watch Hugh Hauser episodes, and then we would end up there. You know, like we would watch an episode of Oak Glen. He's making pies and eating pies. Then the next weekend we would be in Oak Glen. We're like, oh my God, Hugh Hauser.
Yeah.
He was an OG influencer, dude. Like he
Yeah.
would influence me for a lot of things. And me and my grandma would watch him and my dad, whatever. So it was like the familia. I love this man. So I'm pregnant with Santiago. It was Prince Chella. And here comes Hugh Hauser passing by. And I fucking run with my big old panza. I'm like 8-9 months pregnant, running to catch this man. Like, oh my God, Hugh Hauser. And he's like, hey. And I'm like, I'm a local. Me saludó. He puts the mic on us. But we didn't know we were, like, I'm sure interviewing a million people, we thought we were getting chopped in the, like, we didn't know. And editing.
Yeah.
Because it didn't come out right away. You know, it's PBS, so we didn't know what was going to happen. I think it took months, maybe a year. I don't know when. But then someone told us, oh my gosh, you guys are on there. I'm like, oh. So it's cute that moment happened, right? That he was there and we caught him. But it's funny because what I tell him is like, people don't know about this festival. And it did take a long time for people to know that it was literally in our backyard. Because there's things that happen here in the valley that are very exclusive, right? Like only certain people can go on the racetrack or the surf clubs that are coming or whatever. So people just don't know about everything that happens. Or maybe it's just not your thing. But for Coachella, it took a while, I think, for locals to care about it.
Either you worked it. 4 or 5 years barely.
Yeah.
Because I remember 2012, 13, like more people like that was going to school with or like college, but like older people wouldn't go. Like, it was always like a negative stigma with like the Hispanic community, like, oh, people are gonna go through drugs and they're poking you with needles. And like, it was like all these negative stigmas. When I went, it was 2009, and people were like, oh, like, you know, it's like, oh shit, Coachella.
Yeah.
And now it's like everyone wants to go now. Everybody's like, oh, you gotta go. Now they have Mexican music, and just music for everybody. It's just
everybody's doing drugs.
Everybody's
allegedly
getting poked with needles.
Allegedly.
Everybody's getting poked now. But I kept all these little booklets just because
that's so sick. You have so much history here.
2012.
Oh, the 2012 book.
Like they were little. Look at these little baby pads.
Yeah.
The wristband came in that box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would just, as we walked out of Coachella, there would always be boxes that no one distributed.
Let me see them.
Se arrancaba muchas.
Just history, man. 2012.
What is this? These aren't even that cute. I'm glad they got.
What is that?
This is the box for
2011. Oh my God, that's sick.
I think that was the first. This was the first.
The first box, yeah. It's the first year that was 3 days.
I'm glad they look cuter now.
That's
and
sick.
I appreciate them. I like the little artwork.
Damn, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think we have them all.
Yeah, I don't the first one I have is like 2013. Because I went 2011, but I don't think I have a box for that.
Yeah. They're cool.
That's so cool.
I know they take up a little spot in our house. And so there's Desert Sun articles there, LA Weekly. I'm telling you, I liked writing my little blogs about it. And he has a Flickr account where he would upload our camera pictures, and that's still online. And it's just, they're pictures of what it looked like. Like, it didn't look as flashy and, you know, well produced. I really saw the change after Desert Trip. You know how the speakers are like perfect sound?
Yeah.
They bought those for Desert Trip because they have the money now, right? They got so much money from those 2 shows. And how are you going to have janky speakers for Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
You know, like they had the best sound. And so now we have those speakers. And I think it just became this huge shift after those shows. After 2016?
2016.
Yeah.
Well, in 2017 or 18, when was it they expanded? 17 or 18, they added 25,000 people. Yeah. So from 100,000 to 125. That's when they moved the Sahara to be its own like main stage.
Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend was all norteada. She's like, I don't know where anything's at right
you
now.
got a booklet from 2011. That's so cool. Damn. So I'll tell you who I was, who I watched all day. So that Sunday we went there for Jack's Mannequin, which they sang. They broke up. Jack's Mannequin, I think Jack something is like a soloist now, and they used to sing this song called Dark Blue, and it was like this dude playing the piano, and they had like a little rock band. So it's Jack's Mannequin from 2:30 to 3:20, and then Wiz Khalifa 3:45 to 4:30. So
that's when you were there all day.
We went there for Jack's Mannequin so we could get a good spot for Wiz Khalifa. Shit. And then it was Nas and Damon Marley after Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, okay.
Then it was Death from Above 1979. Then it was Duran, then The Strokes, and then Kanye. So I was like, let's just stay here the whole day. So me and him just camped it out.
I don't think I've ever done it.
Do you regret missing any of it?
I didn't even know who else was playing.
Well, now that you see it.
So Jimmy Eat World would have been cool.
Dang.
Chrome was
Jimmy
good.
shit.
See, that's
Jimmy
Jimmy.
shit.
They're
Ellie
gonna be there
Coleman.
soon. Watch.
That's funny. No, our friends just stopped coming with us. So I think, you know, when you have a big crew and you kind of all want to stick together, we would get pulled into different.
Lightning Bolt, Phantom Grand.
But it's been cool. Just me and you.
The
you know, Big
Oasis
Papa.
Dome. I forgot about that. Oasis
So I
Dome.
kind of missed seeing
the
that kind of
Oasis
thing.
Dome.
That's
Because those
crazy.
little beanbags were
Seeing-
comfy.
Yeah, that's just
Chemist.
sick.
Yeah.
Duck Sauce at 7:30. I saw Duck Sauce like 20,
That's hip hop.
14, 15. No, they're like a 8-track and what's the other one? It's like
Van Halen.
yeah, they're two DJs that they is their side project called Duck Sauce. They have that song ooh,
Barbra
and
Streisand.
Barbara
Oh,
Streisand.
yeah.
And Coachella 2014 they played, and they gave everybody like little duck little like whistles, and everyone was
See?
like ooh.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There's a band, like I remember people would pass things out. Jessica Von Rabbit, Joshua Tree. She played main stage like one opening back in the day. And she was throwing out bunny ears.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you went to Jessica Von Rabbit's show, you had little bunny ears. People would pass out little recuerdos like fans or glasses into the audience. And then when you would leave
Well, now they
Coachella,
had like the wristbands for
that was cute. Like to see the
Blackpink
Blackpink
and Bad Bunny. Did you get a wristbands?
I did, yeah.
We didn't wait in line. My daughter kept finding them on the floor. And so
We for Bad Bunny on Friday, one of our friends was working the kiosk, so we went with her.
Mhm.
And
How'd
then
she get that gig?
I don't know, to be honest. I didn't ask her.
Find out.
And then Saturday, we were walking in because we had a friend that was DJing like at 1 p.m. We showed up early because
Wow.
it's a local DJ
Yeah,
from Cat
Disco?
City. Disco,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
So we went to support him, and we were walking in, and some lady's like, "Hey, you guys want to see Blackpink?" She just gave us some wristbands,
Mhm.
like glow up little
Mhm.
light stuff.
We saw remember three ball Monterrey.
Monterrey, yeah.
Mhm.
So the whole bota picuda phase.
I remember, what's his name? Was it Infected Mushroom? They were from Mexico, too.
Oh, really?
Infected Mushroom was like 2010, 9? I
All,
don't
see,
remember.
it really hurts
Alfalfa.
to miss so much
Mhm.
because you're not there, right? And I remember that day though, we went to Tribal Monterrey. I had a wedding that day too, so I went in my wedding clothes to Coachella. We saw Tribal Monterrey. Carlos got so into it, he was on the big jumbo screens dancing. Fun. Then I had to walk out of there to go to a wedding and then come back later.
Damn, that's
And these flyers, they used to have
Friday.
flyers.
Kings of Leon and Chemical Brothers
Hey.
closed out the main stage.
See, and Kings
Miss
of
Lauryn
Leon, who?
Hill.
Like, would they come back?
I remember CeeLo Green. Okay, so I remember watching also Motley,
Mm-hmm.
and then they at the end of the set, once the set was over, they
Yeah.
jumped on. They went into the crowd
Yeah,
with
that's their
like
thing.
without the like freehand instruments.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah.
just playing
The
with
drums
and
the
shit.
crowd around them.
Yeah.
Like the stage, that's like no sound, just like the people
Yeah.
there. It was cool. I remember.
They played at the Date Shed.
Oh, yeah?
Remember the Date Shed?
yeah.
So, who owns it? Because I don't understand why it's not being used.
They haven't used it since 2020,
But why?
before COVID. Once COVID stopped, they
It's
they
gorgeous
shut it down.
space.
They probably bring it back. I feel like it's like a thing they could bring back.
But that's what I would love to see more like. I mean, once the festival's over, and then what?
And then what exactly?
And then what?
And then it's like they give you Coachella for one day, and then
Like I would
that's
love
it.
to see more of a partnership, dude. Like I want that.
Yeah,
Like I know we're all praising Danny Lux, and I love that he's coming up, but it sucks that he had, his dad had to give him a guitar from the trash.
yeah.
Like, what does that say about our school system or our public arts programming? Like, why?
There's no artist development. There's nothing here,
Yeah. Like,
Well-
how many Danny Luxes are untapped talent are in our own community, but because we don't have the programming? I'm saying if I was, if I was Golden Voice, I would tap into that, like truly become a partner
Yeah.
with the local schools, with the museums, with the, like, you're here, you make your millions,
$100 million plus
$100 million
per
dollars,
year, yeah.
and then yet local vendors are getting shut down and cited, right? Like, I don't get that.
It's so dumb. Like the city's so, and I feel like they literally just started shutting people down when the festivals are coming. Like,
Why?
is that a bad look that there's people eating in the streets? Like, I don't understand.
And we saw it as we were walking out. Did you see the hot dog ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were getting busted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we saw that one night they were allowing like a little section of the hot dogs to be sold. and they busted this lady that sold outside the bike racks on the yellow path. Like she was literally hiding behind a bike. And then they busted her, and they're like, nah. She wanted to be the first one, you know? She wanted to be the first one you see.
Yeah.
So they pushed her out. And I have video. I'm like, let them vend. You know, like I'm yelling at them.
Doesn't hurt anybody.
Doesn't hurt. And people are hungry.
Yeah.
And then you drive all the way down Monroe, and not a single truck. You know, like they could have posted up right there behind In-N-Out. In-N-Out's line was insane, right? That whole little parking lot in front of, behind the Chevron. That could have been a food truck spot, right? Everybody would have eaten.
That mall
there.
is just so empty. Like,
Dude.
just fucking put fucking bunch of food trucks there.
Mm-hmm.
We could tell, it's a lot of crazy stuff. So, before we wrap up, what some of the wristbands?
How long
what do you
have we talked for? What?
I don't even know, but
No,
2
mames.
hours.
But you know what?
Shout out to the troopers. Are still.
Nobody
online
wants to
watching.
hear that. Like, who am I going to talk Coachella to besides you? And the kids, like, nobody.
I could
wants
talk
to
Coachella
hear
for 3 hours. We
That's
haven't even gone through
true.
half of your box, but it's just not.
This is the most expensive jewelry I own. Like these bracelets. Like that's
Damn.
it. Don't buy
People
me.
buy vintage stuff, huh? Like
I'm not
Probably.
gonna
You
sell
You probably
it
buy
yet.
those, huh? I've
Yeah.
never checked.
I know the boxes people buy, like empty boxes. Like
Yeah.
people buy like whatever year
Yeah,
box
yeah.
for like $100. Like you can sell a box.
Shut up.
Yeah.
We have 3 because one came to the house.
I got a bunch of boxes.
Damn.
I have 4 2019 boxes.
Fuck.
From.
So we
You-
bought 2,
Uh-huh.
and then Alex went to a thrift store like maybe 6 months after.
I seen
Yeah.
them there too.
And she saw them, and she's like,
Yeah.
she just bought them because she knows I like Coachella
Yeah,
shit. So
I seen them at
she-
the thrift
Hey, if you
store.
guys see shit at thrift stores, buy
Yeah.
that shit. Just
Yeah, I bought this.
Well, that's how we got.
Well, at one point I had 3 boxes
Hey.
full of the 2020.
Yeah.
And I still have an entire box.
And then what'd you
That's
do?
sick.
Damn.
What happened?
Sold
How
it?
do you get that?
My dad just found them in a thrift store.
Oh
Full
wow.
boxes of the 2020.
The 20 boxes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's gonna be a vintage one. 2020. And like
Hi,
and
Alex.
imagine in 20 years, like that's the year that never happened, and then you
Exactly.
have just a stack.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's merch, right? Merch from 2020 that was never.
I know.
Hola.
We
We're
have the
talking for 2
boxes.
hours already. Mira.
Hey.
What is this?
The first Coachella documentary that came out.
That
Oh,
one.
with Drew Thomas. So I interviewed
Oh, that's
Drew.
not it.
I interviewed Drew Thomas on the podcast. It was a Zoom interview.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
So
During-
we went to the premiere for that.
Oh,
At the
wow.
Orpheum?
I don't know if it was the premiere, but it was a showing at the Orpheum
Drew
in
Thomas.
downtown LA.
She has the
You
physical.
want one? I got like
DVD.
5 of these, dude.
I do want one.
There you
yeah.
go.
Keep it.
Hey, $20.
Dude, she's got everything.
Hey, give him the bent one.
Look at all the bracelets she has. I know, it's so cool. This
Oh,
is
here.
like, I'm just geeking out right here.
You can have that one because it only has 1 disc.
What is this?
Damn. We have the other. This is somewhere.
Oh,
I
there's a
found,
movie.
Yeah, I found that one at the. No,
So-
it's not a bootleg.
The movie, I said.
Oh, the movie.
The bootleg.
I'm like, no, that's
Look,
the
there's
OG.
the movie, the 1999 film.
What?
No, there's a 2006 film.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, it's only this two.
This
Yeah.
too.
She-
If I
They
find
have,
this
they
one,
have,
She
they have the whole.
conned
It's on YouTube.
Oh, is
That's
it?
It's
Yeah.
like 3 hours.
But when we find the this, we'll bring it.
we'll bring it for you.
That's so
We'll take it to the Desert Underground.
What the heck? That's wild.
Yeah, so that was the thing. We just like going to shows as is. So Coachella was just like the.
That's so sick.
But then actually, once we had babies, it was hard to go to concerts the same way.
Yeah.
Because he's LA, I'm desert. So maybe it was a marriage of convenience because when I would go to LA, I would just stay with him. We would go to all the shows. And then, you know, he would come out here for Coachella and he'd stay with me. And his sister would stay with me, you know, right? So it was always like back and forth, back and forth. And then when we had babies, it was just hard to go to shows because we're not going to, you know, our parents watch the kids already in the daytime. I'm not going to, okay, sorry, we're going to go to Coachella now.
Yeah.
So Coachella was a thing. That was it. We didn't go to shows as much.
But
It
just
was,
for Coachella.
Coachella was the entertainment for the year,
Yeah.
right? Now that they're older, it's cool to go with them, you know. So it's been nice. If our relationship friendship started in '99, you know, like it's been a soundtrack to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute, you know.
It's
And there's a moment, and he doesn't remember this, but I do. Was it okay? So '99, I went with my friends. He went with his homies. 2000 didn't exist. 2001, we went with other people too. 2002 is when I know I saw him. Like I was leaving main stage, walking to Bell and Sebastian at the outdoor theater, And I was walking away from the person I went with. I don't know if I got in a fight or what, but I just left. And then I see this guy, fluffy hair, big old smile, and I'm like, oh my God, that's him. That's King of Bongo, my AOL
They
friend.
used to talk on AOL in 1999.
We're chatting it up, girl. No pictures, no nothing.
That's so cool.
So,
Sketchy.
That's what I told her.
Sus.
Are you sure?
It's very sus.
girl, we
Yeah.
catfished each other. So I was walking towards him, towards that performance. Belle and Sebastian was, and then I saw him, smiled at him. I knew it was him, and I remember hitting him up. Hey, were you leaving? He's like, yeah, but he swears he doesn't remember this.
Dude, everybody's brown and hairy. Come on. Seriously.
But yes, so things like that, just cute little memories. Like I remember so much. Every time I go in there, we're the annoying couple to go with. If it's your first time and you're with us, oh, I remember when this, I remember when that. Like you don't want to be with us.
How's your kids? How do you guys talk to your kids about Coachella? Or do they ask questions? How's like the whole relationship?
They just went in, like they were lucky to go last year with my bracelet because I was.
No, but just growing up.
Oh, growing up? But they know that their parents are into music, so it's not like they would hear it all the time, You know what? I don't think they wouldn't even ask, can I go? And it's just that they ended up going, but it's not like we talked about it. They just have been around like music. So I'm telling you, they're the ones that know the flyer more than we do.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the flyer, we see, oh, there's Bjork, we see the main people that we know, but they know every single band that was on there. So it's kind of like I was following what they were into.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I don't know anything about J. Paul.
What was their favorite?
The Garden, dude.
Garden.
And that was so fun to
Gorillas.
see. Oh my God, Gorillas! My son singing every single word of everything. I'm like, I didn't even know he was that big of a fan. Sorry, Santi, now I know, but like, it was so cute to see him. But it's what's cool about Gorillas is that they bring out, they brought out Mos Staff and they brought out all the people. Well, Beck. They brought out Beck, I think.
Del the Funky Homo
Del the
Sapien.
Funky Homo
De La
Sapien.
Soul.
Yeah. So it's
A lot of old like 90s rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool to
I
see.
I saw Gorillas. That's my biggest regret of this year.
Not seen?
I saw them like maybe the first 30 minutes, and then weekend 2 I didn't see them at all.
Oh.
And I went to see
And
Metro
they
Boomin
gave
twice.
a better show because we saw the live
The live
stream.
stream?
The better show was second weekend.
Second weekend.
Yeah, because they brought more.
It's because
people
I
out.
camped out for Metro Boomin. I was right in the front.
You were to
You
get
saw him twice?
booming.
I saw
I
him
was there for the Gorillas.
Oh,
I was so
You guys split up?
weekend 1 we watched like
Yeah.
30 minutes of Gorillas, and then we went to Metro. And we were in the back of Metro, but I
Yeah.
liked it so much. I'm like, next week I want to be in the front,
So you
and
made
then
it
I
to the
sacrificed.
yeah, and
but
that
I
happens,
regret
and
it.
it's
I regret it.
fine.
So we
Yeah.
didn't really spend a lot of time together at this Coachella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we split up a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have like the Spotify family plan. You know how it tells you like who you're more compatible with in your family. Do you guys have that?
No, I have YouTube Music.
Okay.
I know about it.
Yeah. So there's like an option that tells you like who are you more compatible. So him and my kids are compatible. I'm like the outlier. Like they don't listen to anything that I listen to, and you can see that they were into like the same stuff. And I'm like, I'll be in Despacio. Like find me there. Like the only part I wish you were there with me for Bjork. Like he's not a big Bjork fan, but the fact that I was so close, like
Oh, you went to the front?
up to the front, like I literally walked all the way to
There
the
was nobody for
front.
Bjorkcon in the beginning. I remember I was there for Caliucci's, and then after her, I think someone big was playing at the Sahara or something, because like everyone left. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Like,
Yeah. I was on the rail
That's so cool.
on the right side,
Like,
closer
no
than
respect.
VIP.
No
No
respect.
respect.
2-time Coachella freaking headliner.
But at the
Telling
same
you.
time, it looks like no one's there, but then you see the footage,
and
you know?
it's packed. Yeah.
It's packed, but, you see gaps around
Because
you.
they're lining up for whoever's after, who was it?
The 410, I don't
It
know.
was Blink-182.
Oh.
You see?
And that's what I was scared of. I was scared of getting Blink fans during Bjork because they were going to be drunk and loud. That was my assumption, because I was surrounded by the right people. And it was cute because I was in the Sonora tent, and I posted about this. There was these 2 guys from LA, Griffith and I don't know. But they were so happy. Like, this was my first Coachella. It's so cute here. I love it. Can't believe I haven't come. I told them, oh, I'm from here. I live here. And they're like, oh, my God. So talking about.
Yeah.
And then I told them, check out this tent. Check out them. La, la, la. The good bathrooms are here. Like, you tell them what you know. And they're like, thanks, girl. I said, okay, I'm leaving. And I went to Bjork. And they stayed at the Sonora. And then next thing you know, they come up right next to me and they're like, girl, you're here too. Like, it was just crazy that out of, hundreds of thousands, 100,000 people, like, you're with the same people again. So I've always felt like I don't get lost at Coachella ever. Like, I find my people, like maybe if it's only 5 of us there, but like, I never get lost and I never lose, like, my husband, even though he'll leave to something else, I'll go somewhere else. You come back.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works out. And not even texting each other.
You just know.
We just
Remember
see
we
them.
ran into each other.
We ran into each other at like the electrolyte hydration
Oh, funny.
fucking tent.
How crazy.
We were in there drinking, and then like I just see my sister and Gabby and her pull up. I'm like, what? Like,
You, like,
I
turn
never
around
even
and
saw
shit.
that
We
part.
just ran into each other.
I didn't even know that whole section was there. I didn't even know Yuma was on that side until the last day because we didn't want to leave, but we had to leave because the kids were going to go to school the next day. So
Didn't let them skip Monday.
we ended up, they got sick. Sorry, DSUSD. But, I mean, they let them, like, miss on Friday, because
Yeah.
they gave them bracelets. So it was fine. But I didn't know Yuma, like, that zigzag to get in. That was stupid. Like 2 miles of just zigzagging.
the lines are getting big, and then you go in there and it's so empty,
Yeah,
and it's
like, what was
what is
that?
security
They
guards
could have
doing?
taken off some rails. But they were checking. I noticed you said that on one of your...
I saw like 3 people get kicked out because they didn't have a bracelet.
Because remember when we
On
were
the Yuma.
leaving Friday, Saturday, and we're like, what is that? And we would hear like the music. On the yellow path, you would hear the music. We're like, what the heck is that? It was a Yuma tent up on that side. So if you're somehow getting in, you can jump that fence, you know? So they were scanning you there or checking your
No,
bracelet.
the security guards were like, hey, hands up.
Yeah.
And then I saw 3 people get kicked out. What wasn't like 3
And
people
then
get
take
kicked
them where? Just leave?
I just saw them
The
security
exit.
escorting them out, so kicked out
That
somewhere.
would suck.
And then I saw 2 people there was like a group of 5, and they didn't have bracelets. 2 of them got cut up,
Yeah.
and 3 of them jumped the fence into VIP, and they just ran.
Yeah.
And they never caught them. I think they just
Never.
ran out.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't even know how they got in, but no, it's
But back in the day, it was easy.
Weekend 2 security was way more strict than weekend 1. Weekend 1,
Really?
it was so
they
did
learned.
not check shit. It was
Well, because you have those new
crazy.
scanners, you just walk right in.
It was insane.
I didn't know it was that
I've
easy.
never
But they're
seen it
not
so
all.
I would have brought
Well,
sandwiches.
not everywhere though.
But even,
I would have bought some.
even weekend 2 was pretty
McDonald's
lenient.
cheeseburgers.
To be honest, the hackers go early. You go
Yeah,
early, all the
that's what I tell
all the
everybody.
like like superintendent, fucking security guards are in there, so it's all like the people are making
Everyone's
$15
tired.
an
And
hour.
they're
People
giving
don't
you
give a
water.
fuck. Yeah,
They're giving you
just
water.
go in.
Everybody's giving you water.
Hell yeah, I get
Yeah.
free water. I
Yeah.
didn't. I paid for a couple waters here and there, but I
You
was
paid
always
nothing.
They had the like by the Yuma, the like I forgot the name. It's like don't overdose tent or whatever. And it
What
was
the-
like they had like a place where like you could go in there,
Oh,
sit
yeah.
down. They had fans,
yeah.
give you free cold water. So we would go in there, get 2 free cold waters, refill a water pack, and
Yeah.
you have free water for the rest of the
I
night.
ended up in the medic tent first day. Well, only because I have like my heel hurts. Like I'm telling you, my feet. I can't wear shoes.
Are there any questions?
But my heel was in pain, throbbing, and I had like a heel issue. So I went to the medic tent just to sit too. Like there's no
Yeah.
chairs anywhere. So I me senté and I'm like, can I get it? Like, can I get it wrapped? And they hook you up. They don't ask for ID, no insurance card needed. Like, just wrap up my foot. I andaba todo.
She came out looking like a soccer player, dude.
I look like Frank Ocean.
I was editing one of the vlogs because I'm still, and then Brian, the kid that it was his first time, he had a GoPro and he was talking to somebody on the walking in to Coachella. He's like, if you don't end up in the medical tent, you're doing it wrong because
Damn.
Coachella is paying medical professionals to get you back to like
They sure
health.
do.
You know, like
That's true. Huh?
just go
Dr.
in there.
Paul, I remember that guy the first couple of years. When I was pregnant, I went in there for smoke inhalation. I remember like, oh my God, getting so overwhelmed with all the smoke, and I was pregnant. And Dr. Paul, andaba bien borracho.
He was fucking
like,
drunk too, though.
He was drunk.
He was just like
faded.
the overseeing medical guy. He was
Yeah.
so cool,
He
but
was
he
so
would hook you
tipsy.
up. But watching that, seeing kids, like I wasn't high priority, so I was sitting watching all the drama, and I was like, this
Yeah.
is cool. But pobrecitos, they're overheated, they're drugged out, they overdosed, and they're like panicking, and I'm like, you're gonna be fine. It's okay. It's just hot. You're gonna be okay. They're like, okay, but because they were
Yeah,
ansiosos.
they're scared. You know,
It
I mean, I
sucks.
get arrested.
Imagine
Yeah.
you're gonna get arrested. You flew all the way over here. You told your parents you're doing something.
Spent
Like,
thousands of dollars.
oh my God.
Well, that's why I always recommend like people party too hard on Thursday, day 0. And then the next day, like 11 p.m. or 1 p.m. on like Friday, they're on the medical tent already like
They're
dehydrated.
done.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you have 36 hours of
I
the best
know.
music in the world.
Yeah.
Like, take
Yeah.
it easy, you know?
Yeah.
Take it easy, guys.
Like, I
Take it
think the
easy.
first day you gotta take it easy. You kind of see what it is. Saturday, you could go a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to go hard on Sunday because the last day. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even.
I like
think
to take
drank.
it chill.
I don't think I even.
Yeah.
bought
You have to
any
just
liquor.
pace yourself.
Pace
man.
yourself.
That's
It's a
just,
marathon for sure.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
Yeah, we drink an electrolyte before we get in.
Yeah, hydration's the
Yeah,
best. If
and
you're
then we're
hydrated,
just drinking water the whole
you
day.
just
Beer,
have a good
water,
time.
Alternate beer, water. Beer,
like I
water.
said, I had the worst experience 2014 and 15.
Four locos, dude.
Two Four
Those are
Locos,
illegal
bro.
now.
I drank one. I chugged one,
And
and
you
then
were
I
there?
drank one. Walk, you know, it's like a mile to
Just
get
ruined
in.
my
So
afternoon.
I was drinking it. She was taking care of me the whole time, and then my head was
Annoying.
my
Yeah.
head was on like it was just
Yeah.
pounding. Worse.
No.
And I missed Arcade Fire, and I was so sad. You know, I had watched them at 2011, and I didn't see them.
You know what? I'm gonna let you know. We were there at that performance. It wasn't that good, actually.
No.
Just kidding. It was really good. They threw out confetti.
Damn.
And I remember saying Will's mic got cut off, and he was like, he still sang.
Yeah.
And then we all rolled in the confetti. There's pictures of me and Angie rolling around. You don't remember that? Oh my God. And I bought a merch. I bought my Arcade Fire sweater. I'm telling you, I don't buy merch, but when I do, it's because it's special. That's why I bought a sweater this year. I'm like, dude, that kind of hurt though. $70.
It's a lot.
But the quality of it's really thick.
Yeah.
I wore it this week and I was like, oh, it's a good
Do you have,
sweater.
like vintage t-shirts?
No, nunca compraba. No, not really.
She has like
No.
vintage magazines. She has printouts. So she used to take to Coachella. Like
Nerds.
Like
I know I
everything.
have more. It's just like literally dusty ass on top of the closet. I'm like, oh yeah, I have this.
she has physical tickets from Coachella 1999, 2001,
Girl, what you
2002.
want?
Like literally,
Scalping
look at the.
Hey.
I want that.
Well, look
They're
at all the
faded.
wristbands.
Yeah, here's my jewelry, girl.
Oh my god, you have so many.
Hey, Avenue 50 resident. Who the heck gave us this? We are
What is that?
Avenue 50 resident. All these
Oh, that's where
random
we stayed
ones.
at my friend Kevin's.
Don't say that. Okay, and then this is the messy year 2010. Field passes. Ain't
Well,
that
what was
crazy?
a field pass?
I don't know. So my brother used to work at the
I think it was,
Best
it was
Western.
like a vendor pass, maybe.
Maybe.
The Best Western used to be like what the Tennis Gardens is now. Like you
Oh,
would go to
yeah,
the
I
Best
remember that.
Western
Yeah, I
It was
to
remember
like
that.
fix your bracelet,
Yeah.
right there in Indio Boulevard. Like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, and they would hook you up with bracelets or change your bracelet. And he got these and gave it to us. So that's how we got just a food. We never sold food at Coachella, but we got a food pass.
We got this for like a few years. We got hooked up.
2001?
Yeah,
This is insane.
it was fun. It's been fun.
It's been fun. It's still gonna
yeah.
be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to see in 2024 Coachella lineup, or
I-
predictions that you have, or
Dun,
just
dun,
who do you want to see?
dun.
Like you said, maybe Rage owes us a little comeback.
No, but like if I'm thinking if it's going towards like a Latino kind of audience now, I mean they are kind of giving us things like that, right? Like I love that they had Mon Laferte. Like she was amazing, right? It's funny to me. I thought it was funny. J Balvin got such a huge stage because I didn't think he was that big of a deal.
2019.
And is he? I'm sorry, is he?
He was pretty. He's still pretty big. He's like
Yeah.
a little like one tier under Bad Bunny. He's
Yeah.
in that tier with like Maluma and Anuel and all those guys.
They're like pretty boys.
Yeah.
I would like to see a Residente come back.
I Residente.
Calle 13.
Yeah.
So Calle 13 gave a good show, but they didn't have production. There was just a band. And
Yeah.
then the little sister was there too, like their instruments were like water bottles and like a triangle and like
Yeah.
like real instruments, but they were just doing like this cool like rascuache kind of vibe to it. But I would love to see him perform on a big level. He's fun to watch. I would love to see. It sucks that Maldita never got their chance, because Maldita Vecindad is, like they're rock legends too, but the saxophone player died of COVID. Like pobrecito, like they didn't get their chance to have a stage like that.
But
But
like
like,
on Maná. Maná's never played Coachella.
dude,
First
I think
Mexican
Maná
headliner.
would, but I'm not a fan of Maná.
You
But
don't like Maná?
mm-mm.
Why not?
No, just
Too pop.
And like, my kids are probably rolling their eyes right now. Like, Mom, you're just trying to be different. Like I don't jump on the bandwagon. So when we claimed like we were rockeros, like, and people would say, "Oh yeah, I like rock, but I like Maná," but that was it for them, right? Maná was the band. But there's so many bands, But I think Maná would get a Coachella the way it's going, like I think they would get their Coachella moment. And it's funny because, like, if I'm on space, yes, puro gringo, and Maná comes on, I'll be like Maná's biggest fan. And I'm like, oh yeah, mi amor, like I'll be screaming it just to sing in Spanish.
Yeah.
At your dad's party this
Maná
last
is just
weekend.
one of those bands that, like, even if you're not a fan, you know the music.
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course.
it's
Yeah,
Maná,
yeah, yeah.
you know?
But to say like I know, and I probably do know other songs, but
Yeah. I've seen
The-
2 Maná concerts.
yeah, and I heard they get so lit. Everybody's drunk and having a good time. Yeah, I get that. Like, that's fun. But I don't know who they would bring, but Maná would probably.
Juanes
sell
has
out all the time.
Juanes has never played Coachella either.
They would give Juanes a fucked up slot, huh?
Nah,
But you know what?
Juanes would be like a 9 p.m., 8 p.m. 9
Juanes?
8 p.m. at the main stage.
I
It's a little early.
They would,
No.
if they did them, yeah.
Maná would be 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at the main stage. They're big.
Juanes, though?
Or maybe an outdoor theater.
Juanes plays the LA County Fair every year, so he's like.
No, but it's
he's
because
fair
Juanes
level.
has... they have like 3 fucking hits. Camisa Negra is such a...
3.
No, I'm saying like global hits.
Global,
Yeah.
yes, global.
And then they had... What's the other...
You think they would have like Julio Iglesias or Paquita la del Barrio?
Nah. Well,
Just for the fact that
That's like
it's a legend.
like a 3 p.m. at the main stage. Like how they did Los Tucanes, 3 p.m. at the main stage on
Yeah.
Friday, bro. That's just fucked up.
But like in the Sonora. No? I don't know.
It could be, but I don't know. She's too old, I think.
Damn.
I know this
She sings in a chair.
Rata
Someone
de
wants
dos
to
patas.
know what was the most unique Coachella year.
Unique.
Unique.
What was unique? I liked this year's drone thing. That was cool.
The
Like,
black.
yeah,
drone
like we
thing.
were so close for Bjork that we had no idea there was a whole drone show happening right behind, like that behind the stage.
Mhm.
I couldn't see it. It was happening behind the
Yeah.
stage. So seeing those drones were pretty cool to see for other performance, like Blackpink in the beginning had the drones. That's cool to see. What was unique, Papa?
I think seeing the roving art.
Oh, back in the day,
A long time ago with the spaceman.
the astronaut.
Oh,
When they
that's
first
move-
started that,
Yeah.
Oh, like
Mhm.
moving
Like
around.
the moving art piece. And then
Yeah.
he came back like a few years later or something.
Yeah.
And he looked different. So I think that was pretty
He was
cool.
beat up.
Yeah, because he had
Estaba
apparently
todo
had
tirado.
gone into a like around the world
Yeah.
or around
Yeah.
the universe and shit and came back all fucked up. So that's what was kind of cool.
In 2019, they brought him back.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was funny because they, like the artists themselves were like, kind of talking shit to each other. Because did you see the hippos in space?
Yeah.
So the spaceman had a smashed hippo on his foot. So when you saw the spaceman
There was a
rolling
hippo
around,
in it?
there was a hippo.
There was a
Todo
hippo.
me-
I
was
didn't
like,
see that.
Damn,
So
burn.
I think the artwork that year was pretty cool.
I loved seeing the date farmers, their big cholo art. That shit was amazing. I
Yeah.
think that was part of the first huge piece where you're like, damn, this is huge.
Mhm.
And now it's on
Like some random,
Grapefruit
It's on
Boulevard.
Grapefruit, yeah.
It's on
some like
gas
mechanic
station.
shop or some
Old gas
shit.
station,
Yeah. And it
I
was so
seen
cool
that.
to see. They're
Yeah.
like, wow, these are locals right here, right? And it's just, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's just right there, you know?
I like that they're like the
Died.
cities are incorporating like old retired. What happened?
Camera died.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
thinking, or is it a full battery?
it's the battery.
Because we talk too much.
All right. Before we gotta wrap it up.
I'll come back with better answers another day.
No, yeah, we gotta do a follow up episode 'cause this is just like an introduction.
Yeah, this was just an intro.
Which one?
What, that? Oh, there's a camera there? Dude, there's cameras everywhere.
I
It's
thought you were
awful.
using this one.
No.
Like, why is that on a tripod?
That one hasn't
Um,
died. That one's I feel like
It was cool to see Beastie Boys and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, that was super cool. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it tonight. Like, it's all unique. Every single year is like there's something different, you know. And
And it's crazy because it could be the same year, but you watch like these 5 artists, but someone else watched these 5 artists and they had like this cool experience over here, and then you know,
yeah,
that's what it is. It's just, I think it's just being there with like your own, a positive whatever I'm watching. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
experience this. You know
Like-
how you said with the garden or whatever. Like
Beyonce's Homecoming, I can watch that over and over and over. It's always a mood enhancer. Me and my daughter will watch that all the time on.
I was there.
I wasn't
watched
there.
I watched Beyonce in person, but the videos are so much cooler. Like the
Oh my
documentary
God.
and like that's just
And
like
you
when
know
I was in
what?
person, it was cool.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. But like watching the documentary, I'm like,
Yes.
damn, this shit was badass. Like, I don't
And that's
know.
what I want to see more of. Like, in the beginning, there used to be a film tent. You would go into a tent and they're showing movies the whole time. And they would have like a whole little film festival.
That's true.
The Creators Project, actually, this book.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Inside the
true.
festival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would go into this tent and there was books. And it's the same people that threw the balls out.
Yeah.
And they had the box. It's spiritualized. So I thought they were going to be there forever. I don't even know what happened to the Creators Project. But they had a, like, film. So you can go hang out and watch a movie, you know? I miss that kind of stuff. That was
What?
unique.
That's
Cool.
true. There were films at Coachella. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the first booklet, if it's around,
Mm-hmm.
you
There
would
was
see
film
you would see a
schedule.
lineup of the schedule.
Yeah.
it's
Wow,
true.
that's awesome.
I think I probably caught like a short one, but
Yeah.
you know, I was there for the music.
And there was one festival, I think it's Arroyo Seco. They had little free libraries around the so you would go into a little library, you could get a book and then just hang out and read. Like, how cool.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I would love.
That's not cool.
It's not cool to
That's
you.
not fucking cool.
Well, it's
yeah.
because that's now everyone's got their phone and shit. So back then it's
I
like,
know.
because I remember even when I went to Coachella 2009, 10, 11, I had a phone. I didn't have a phone the first 2 years, but then the first year I went, I had a phone, but it was like only texting. Like there was no internet.
Yeah, the phone didn't work.
The phone didn't
even
work.
matter.
No, there's no
Yeah.
signal now.
You had a
Imagine 10
razor.
years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Your
So
razor.
it was like you were there, whatever
You were
music you're
there,
watching. You
yes.
had to get a pamphlet to know what artist was next. You didn't even know the
Mhm.
time. And I was like, yeah, it was different. But it's
The good old days.
back in
But
back
you know
in my
what?
day.
Like, I understand why our friends
That's
don't
right.
come no more, you know? It's different. And it's changing. And I think a lot of our friends hold on to, like, the scene that, you know, that they love.
But it's also like, imagine it doesn't even matter what artist you like the production is so good. Like
yeah.
like you said, there's a drone show behind the artist, there's fireworks, pyrotechnics, and then over there's like a 3D hologram, and over there's like the Sahara and like the Espacio. Is like there's so much going on. Even if you're not like a super fan of some of the new music,
Yeah.
it's still like crazy.
It is.
I don't know. It's just so much.
Yeah. And
I like it. I like it too much.
Yeah, we like it. My mom
Yeah.
doesn't get it. Does your mom get it?
No.
Yeah.
I want to take them.
Yeah.
I wanna
But
take them.
Would they enjoy it?
I feel like it would have to be. So I took them to see Fuerza Regida.
Okay.
So and they did not enjoy it.
No? Where?
No.
Where was that?
Honda Center in Anaheim.
Why didn't they like it?
But that's like a Staples Center record, like
Yeah.
a venue. I
So
mean,
it's
this
'cause-
is a field. I think they would walk around. and-
Yeah, because
Maybe,
Fuerza
but-
Regida is more like that urban, new style of corridos and shit. And they like more of the traditional, so they didn't know any song.
You
No, they're
think
just singing
they're-
fucking corridos.
They're
I
gonna.
think your mom enjoyed it more than your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute! Yeah.
But I want to take them to Coachella one year. Just get them a handicap spot.
Just a few
so- 'cause-
hours.
Yeah,
That's what I
and
tell
the
my
night.
mom. Te quiero ser.
We took his mom to Grupo Firme too.
Oh, she liked Grupo
Dude,
Firme.
I saw your video.
Grupo
You guys
Firme,
went all
fuck
VIP.
Grupo Firme.
And the
went
party
hard.
bus?
For nothing.
Oh,
The
I
party
won't-
bus?
Yeah, I blacked out on that.
Yeah.
one. Talk
No?
about that.
His mom was yelling at him on the way home.
Yeah.
Why? I don't
She was
remember.
mad at you for getting too drunk, and she was mad at Gabby for getting too
Oh,
drunk.
yeah.
Hey, it's okay, tía Lupe. Una vez al año, no pasa nada.
Yeah, guys, it's too crazy. So, well, thank you guys for coming to the podcast.
Thank you, Angel.
I want to do another one because this is. I feel like
I'll have
I
better
feel like we're
answers,
barely
dude.
brushing the surface. I don't know.
No,
Well,
it's true. I mean, think about it. Like, what's 20? What's this year? 20 what? 20?
2024, 2023.
No, but
Wait,
how many,
what?
what year
Oh.
is this?
Like-
What's the year?
What,
Like,
Coachella
it's
year?
the 20th year. It's the 21st. What is it?
21st, I think.
22nd.
22nd.
And how
No,
many
wait,
artists?
I don't even know.
So there's been thousands of artists, and right now we're drawing blanks for everything because
Yeah.
we just don't remember.
No, but yeah, well, we got to get into
But we've
every-
been there. I promise.
I think we got to make a YouTube video. So we're going to make a separate, like an actual YouTube video of
Uh-huh.
everything you have in your box. That's going to be
Okay,
super
we'll do that.
Just
And
like,
I'll
oh,
find
look-
my MySpace blogs.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
go.
find them.
We'll deep dive. So get the stuff ready. We'll do that. So make you guys like and subscribe. Follow her page, Dear Indio.
Don't follow me at Dear India.
Dear Indio on Instagram.
I'm trying to keep it
And,
underground like you guys.
Yeah, we'll be doing another Coachella recap, and we'll
Follow
go
him at Guatemala.
Guatemala on
He's a
Instagram.
cyclist right there.
And
Oh, Karina, what's up? She's watching.
thank
me
you
with
guys for
champagne.
tuning in. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys at the next Coachella. Shout out to Alfredo for producing the podcast. Shout out to Alex, and see you guys at Coachella.
Hey, girl. Shout out to you.
All right.
I just got here.
Just pulled up.